Hello everyone and welcome to our second stream of the week. Not often that we actually have the opportunity to do one of these, but we're going to take advantage of it. We are back this time for the RuneScape Game Jam, kind of an overview of everything that's going on and just to talk about how it went. Joining me is Mod Osborne and Mod Timbo.
Hi, Shauny.
We have many
Hello.
mods who are going to be showcasing
We have a
their
lot
stuff.
of mods to come on and show stuff, yeah.
So I'm going to have to ask you, Timbo, straight off the bat, how was it? How overall did you find it?
I'm not to swear, am I?
No. Sadly not.
Yeah, it was exhausting, but I think it was really rewarding. It was awesome talking to players. As always, like the Discord chat was full of people and full of cool ideas, and people got to see our designs and stuff. And it was really awesome. I think everyone inside the office had a good time. We managed to eat a lot of non-branded takeaways.
How many different regions did you go for with your takeaways?
Oh, that's a good point. I think we touched like 3 continents.
You touched three continents. Love it. Nice.
But yeah, I think it was a really good atmosphere in the office. We had a really good time, and yeah, I think it was really good.
So as a result, I mean, we should probably explain just for people joining. So what is the RuneScape Game Jam? What did we set out to do over this weekend?
Yeah, so it's not really a games jam at this point, but it's an opportunity for developers to sort of talk to players, get their ideas, get our own ideas, merge them together, get them out there to the players, and sort of live develop and live design ideas that we've had and you've had over the weekend. So this year we extended it through to Friday, and as people know, we have TAP, which is our Thursday all-day passion project. Thursday, where we see all these sort of like, oh, this is a TAP idea, and JMods go, I'm doing this in TAP. So we had like 4 days to sort of work on this, and it's a chance for us to down tools of what we normally do and sort of work on these passion projects. So lots of developers had really cool ideas. Like Ryan had his really cool player and house contract idea. Talked to players about it, showed it on stream, got really cool feedback, and now he's going to show it off later. That's basically the game jam. It's sort of an opportunity for us to sort of work on passion projects, but also sort of give you a window into sort of the development process. And people got to see me live design and write up ideas for their Alchemical Onyx ideas. And I know that Mod Pie and Harrison had that with their wilderness stuff. So yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, the only thing I'd add is that there's also what happens afterwards, which is then they also go onto our backlog potentially, because obviously we don't want it to necessarily stop there.
Yes, I was gonna say, like, how is this decided? Like, how do you decide as a team? Okay, this looks good. Let's work on.
Yeah,
this and so on.
It would depend on the projects on a per project basis, but the largest proportion will probably go onto the builder backlog poll. So what we'll do is we'll slap them on that poll, which we're trying to do monthly, and so players can tell us exactly which are worth spending time on. We'll obviously kind of filter that through, well, some of them are kind of already made. That gives them a higher weight, that sort of thing. So hopefully we can then get them out, but not all of them. That's the caveat. There are many different factors that might mean that something doesn't come out. But yeah, they're looking good for it.
Awesome. I'm going to start this off and mention that we're not going to be able to show you this, but we can talk about one change that was already done during Game Jam. It's from one of our tech devs, with Mohawk.
Yep.
And I'll throw it over to you, Tim, because you kind of know the details of what he's done. So, yeah. What did you get up to for Game Jam?
Ms. Modhacker isn't his mod name?
I believe it's Mohawk.
Hope so. Modhacker came in over the weekend, and he sort of, one of the most common suggestions, because he works with our NXT and our engine and stuff, well, platform team.
Yes, that's a platform. Sorry, no.
And so one of the fixes he made was that he made it so that when you teleport or log in, the camera now faces north, which I know annoys me a lot. It's annoyed the players a lot, and they get a lot of memes on Reddit and stuff.
Like where you go to pref, and then the camera has to force itself in a certain direction.
Swings
and so
around.
on. Yes.
Swings around.
Swing. There we go.
And it's really frustrating. So he came in and did that very, very quickly. It's not really in a state to show you guys, but he's done it. We can pick it up and
Good
get
reaction
it out.
already. Nice.
So yeah, I'm really.
That's what we love
It
seeing.
feels like it should be so simple, shouldn't it?
Yeah, because like we had this conversation. Obviously, I think it was Mod Ashes who I asked him this question last year, and there was a lot of factors in this, but it needed a look from someone who worked on the platform side of things. Now Ashes has dabbled in it here and there, but he's mainly a tech dev, so having Mod Hacker's perspective on that meant that you could take it a different way, and obviously been able to do it. So
yeah, grateful for him to come in over the weekend.
Yes.
Spend some of his time fixing that. So that was really cool.
So people are saying, just before we jump into Game Jam projects, people are saying, what's going on the right-click issue? What's going on with my client crashing? I've said something earlier, but just to clarify what's going to happen, sometime during the stream, you'll probably see me with a laptop in my hand, and that is because I'm talking with the platform team. The idea is hopefully during the stream we launch a warm fix for NXT that will fix the issues that you guys have been having. So we have a live stream fix, so to speak, which is nice.
Has that been done before?
I don't think so. No. And also, I'll broadcast that to all of you in game in case you're not watching the stream, obviously, just so you're aware. And one other thing, RuneScape for today, we have the Game Jam sword that was made
of course.
from a couple of weeks ago by the art team. So that's going to be coming to play. I think it's called Nature's Balance. Is that correct? Nature's Balance. So that'll be today's RuneScape rewards. So keep an eye out for that at the end of the stream. And obviously, let us know what you think of it. So it's pretty exciting. But apart from that, Ryan, are you good to go? No, he's giving me the no. Oh no, that's fine. We can talk about some of the project. That's fine. So we obviously did the streams over the weekend. It's Saturday and Sunday streams. We had different projects, and some projects that we showed on Saturday to then show on Sunday. You weren't here on Saturday, which was
I'm sorry. I was here for Sunday.
You were here for Sunday. Yeah, you were here for Sunday. So I kind of just touch upon it because we're coming to your section, obviously midway through the stream with you and Mod Raven.
Yes.
So you're obviously going to talk on the couch a little bit, but overall, how did you find getting on with Game Jam?
Yeah, absolutely loved it. I think the thing I love most is trying to develop with a Discord window open with players.
It's hard, isn't it?
It is hard actually, but it's so valuable. It almost makes you want to double the amount of time that you spend making anything, so you can have this Discord channel because it does take up time, but have ideas constantly bouncing between you and the players because invariably it's much better the content that you get out at the end of it. But it was also weird because you've got to talk in code words because we're making quests. So there's also some surprise we're trying to retain.
I like Mod Raven's key item.
Yes.
Oh yeah, always.
Yeah. Which became a meme in his Discord.
I just went for pure lies. Like occasionally, like 1 in 3 thing I said would be a pure lie.
Nice.
So hopefully that will retain some surprise.
Awesome, Ryan. I'm going to double check with you. Are you good again? No? Okay, that's fine. It's not a problem. This is why that's why I have to double check because I don't want to keep us going. Okay.
Do you want to talk about your things or are you showing them?
I mean, I'm showing them. I'm happy to talk about them.
And you are showing yours?
Yeah, I'm showing mine as well.
So,
I'm talking about mine.
I'm excited for you because obviously we only got a look at one thing. Is that correct? On Sunday, that was with Moderator.
Yeah.
Not the obviously. So is there more to show now?
There's more of that thing.
Oh, okay, awesome.
But the second item is not ready.
Okay, I don't think we should spoil that. We should keep that for the gameplay section. I can kind of talk about other clan stuff I got up to. That's not a problem. I'll show it anyway, but it's just nice to do. But the biggest thing was obviously clan mute. So clans have the issue where obviously they either have to kick their clan member or do nothing if they're being a pain. And this was like the middle ground, so you don't have to kick them. You can essentially mute them in clan chat. And
it's a clan mew.
Clan mew?
Yeah. I thought
the 151st clan member.
And if there's this,
away from space.
And now it's just like a yearly tradition. Like 2016, we had Ark and other words, which I'm not going to repeat because I still. It's funny because I can't say that word, and my other half literally will try and say, "You just say it like this. You just say it like this," and I'll get it, and then say it wrong again, and I'm not risking that. That's fine. I'm not doing
Your other
that.
half will try to get you to say "thok." Repeat.
No, say it right.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, not the swear, the version I say, which is obviously swearing. Get me to say it right. Okay, he's giving me the thumbs up with a smiley face as well, which is reassuring. All right, so without further ado, we're going to throw it over to Mod Ryan, and we're going to check what he has been up to for Game Jam. Take it away.
Sure. Is anyone coming over? Is Timbo coming over? Am I self-hosting?
No, he's coming. Timbo's on the way.
Alright, sure. Sorry about that delay. We'll just wait for Timbo. Or we won't. We'll just jump into it. Timbo's on his way. So, if you saw the Game Jam stream over the weekend, I'm covering some of the same things, but I'm going to cover it a bit more without rushing over it, I guess, today.
Hello, friend.
Hello. How you doing? You alright?
I think I need to use this microphone.
Okay, right.
So I'm using this microphone.
Cool. So my project that I worked on over Game Jam was the player in-house contracts, and that is essentially me looking at construction as a skill and looking at what we can do to improve it and trying to break it down into smaller updates where possible. I say smaller, but sort of what are the issues and how can we solve them separately. So just going to jump into it. You may notice, if you didn't see it in Game Jam, but I've just mapped down sort of an area in Lumbridge for the houses, so we're no longer floating because we used to be floating. But this here is basically the idea that I was going to set it up so that we move all of player and house sort of to one place, or like how you access the house.
Right. Okay.
Because sometimes it's a bit weird if you're like, Ryan, come over to my house, and I'm like, okay, and I go to the Taverley portal, and it tells me
But I'm
your
actually in
house is-
Relica.
Yeah, but your house is in Relica, when ultimately when we go in that portal, we still load the same house that looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
So we're looking at, like, I was looking at centralizing it to one hub. So if you ever wanted to do anything to do with player-owned houses, you know, let's just say, you know, the Gilded Altar, those sorts of things where some people use other people's houses, you could all just come to one place. Maybe there'd even be a world, and everyone would sort of do the same, be at the same place to know how to access someone's house.
But how would teleport home and chipped teleport tabs work?
So I was thinking about that, and I came to the conclusion that, you know, we could turn player-owned house teleport into taking you to either in your house, like you can currently have it, or if you say outside your house, it would either be here by default, sort of the central hub, which isn't confirmed to be in Lumbridge, it was just what I was using, or ultimately you could unlock the various house portals that are already accessible.
Right, okay, yeah.
Similar to like lodestones, I guess, so you could set your exit destination to Relica, so you can still teleport your house and leave via Relica.
Okay, that's cool.
So the portals would stay in all the other cities. It's more that we don't limit you to the fact that you have to go to Taverley to enter your Taverley portal.
And would the portal in Relica take me here? If I clicked on it, would it take me to my house?
It would take you to your house, but I guess you could probably use it as a shortcut to exit here if you really wanted.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just making sure we got bases covered.
Yeah. But in the bigger sort of update in mind, I haven't thought this through necessarily, but, you know, I wanted to make more of a, like, you could turn this into the construction guild if you wanted to move down that route, but it's more about bringing it more together. Anyway, we'll jump into the...
So yeah, show us player-owned house contracts.
The more interesting stuff. So, yep, this is a list essentially of contracts. You can get easy, medium, hard is the current that I've got plugged in. There's a special section, but doesn't mean anything right now.
Do you have any special contracts?
I'll show you. Special tasks are currently unavailable, so no. But yeah, would you like? We could take a hard contract, for example, and you'll sort of get a contract name, the sort of host who holds on to who's giving you the contract. So, you know, in this case, it's called Ian. We could have just like man, woman, or, you know, it could be Reldo. You know, we can pick any NPC sort of in game. There'll be those sorts of things. And special is what I have in mind for, like, maybe Wise Old Man wants you to do something with his house. He's sort of a special contract. He's not your generic man or woman character. Guard. Yeah, so you can get a contract. You'll see I have it here. And then we can enter the NPC's house. Dun, 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 dun. And it looks something like this.
There you go.
So this just randomly generated his house in terms of theme, and right now it's just showing those 3 rooms. But you'll notice that inside of this there is a couple of hotspots that are, as you'd see in building mode. So I can sort of come up to this and build a small oven to fill that spot in.
So you can only build what the client requires, right?
Yeah, exactly. And on the right-hand side, I don't think I had time to show this in Game Jam because I finished it after the last stream on Sunday.
Yeah, it looks a lot different.
As I finished it, this is a work in progress, but you'll see on the right, I don't think you can see my mouse on stream, but in the right-hand side, I've got a list of the rooms, and also what needs to be built in each room, and I was looking to update that so it sort of ticks or shows what you've already built in that room and what's missing.
Right, okay.
Mouse overs, etc., to say, like, it requires 5 planks, 3 nails, that sort of thing. But you can go through and, of course, finish the contract that you're required to build. Apparently I can't build the shelves because I don't have nails. That's convenient. Let's give myself some nails. Let's give myself...
A lot of iron
nails. That's enough nails, maybe? We'll give it a go.
You do bend a lot of nails.
So, but yeah, you can go through this house. So while I go through building it, I'll sort of explain some of the other stuff. But you may also notice around the edge of the house, we've added sort of what I would call a fall-off kit. So let's just go over there.
Yeah, because in the current player in the house, it just sort of drops off, right?
Yeah, exactly like this. So in the current POH, it literally looks like that. Edge of the world is what it looks like. So over Game Jam, Mod Luke F sort of whacked out some very basic sort of like edging for it, and and I had that generate in.
It does look cool.
So yeah, it just makes it look like your house is... I mean, yes, your house is floating on an island, but it was already floating on what looks like a flat plane.
It was floating somewhere.
Yeah, so now it looks like that.
Now it's just floating on an island.
If we were to finish a contract, which we're going to do really fast, because, you know...
I mean, I wish I could do the construction like this in-game right now.
You want to build this fast?
This fast. Although build and remove would be kind of annoying.
What do I need? A bookshelf. Is that it? Ta-da. You'll notice I completed it. In the bottom, it tells you I've completed the contract. Well done. Here's your XP reward, and that is not final XP.
That's a nice amount of experience.
That is not final whatsoever. That is just placeholder. You definitely wouldn't get that much. You'll also notice it teleported me into the middle of nowhere because this is where originally I was just using as a test square.
So if I was building in my house, can I use flat packs to build instead?
So you can. That came up on Saturday's live stream. People asked if you could install the furniture via the flat packs, so I went away and implemented that. I would show you. But right now, actually, the version is you can literally put anything in any slot. So even if he asks you for a crude chair, you could give him a mahogany chair or whatever, and he wouldn't like it. So.
Oh, right, okay.
But yeah, so that's contracts. That's the border, and this is the hub. They're the sort of things I focused on. Something I wanted to expand the contracts into is not only completing a contract gives you XP and GP or potentially GP as a reward, because that came up on Game Jam. People saying, it feels like you're putting in work to help for someone else, and you're using their materials. You're using your own materials.
Yeah.
Should you be able to earn gold from it? So that is a potential possibility.
So you don't get an XP reward. You get like a payment for.
Yeah, a payment for completing the contract.
Yeah.
And that's where we could look at special contracts which reward special things, not necessarily just gold, depending on who this special contract is. Maybe it's every week there is a special one. If it's the Wise Old Man this week, there's maybe a chance you could get something Wise Old Man themed. As we know, he holds onto a lot of weird items.
He certainly does.
Considering he also he used to clear your items, your bank for junk.
Yeah, he's got tons of that stuff, doesn't he?
But yeah, and something I was looking into is just kind of giving it the sort of Slayer point system or the Treasure Trail point system that you could consider.
So if I complete more contracts in a row, I get.
Yeah, I was thinking, either in a row, because you can re-roll currently. You could take a contract and you can re-roll it. Right now you can just do it endlessly, but there'd probably be a cost on that, whether or not we do a streak. But ultimately, I wanted some sort of reward shops and progression system in here whereby, maybe you can earn. Because we were talking about this, I think, at Game Jam, if you remember. Although you want to build someone's house, I think I've got a contract in here. For the sake of showing you, I wanted to generate a really large house.
How large is this house?
This guy's house is
holy
this big.
Crap.
Right now, of course, the doors don't actually line up, so you can't actually get into half of these rooms. But
he likes a lot of dining rooms, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think they're all dining. No, that's a kitchen.
That's a kitchen.
There's kitchens. Yeah, they're all kitchens, actually.
They're all kitchens.
Most of them, not these ones. But yeah.
How many kitchens does one man need?
I don't know. Let's ask. I would use my same joke that I use all the time, but we're not going to. But yeah, you'll see on the right-hand side, there's a huge list now. Where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. So some of these tasks require a lot of time. They also sort of may require a lot of... planks. So you
a
have
lot
to
of materials,
keep going in and out to get planks. So we're talking about some of the rewards. You could maybe carry around a bag of 200 planks, which is very useful for contracts. It's less useful for if you were to build remove in your regular house.
Because you have butlers already, right?
Yeah, you have butlers, but that's fine. I think that's a good use case for here. There's a bunch of stuff I want to add. Of course, this was a 4-day, 3 to 4 day sort of project.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of stuff I wanted to add. Like the host would be in the house. There's be more interaction in the house potentially. Maybe every now and then he might ask you for something special, and if you satisfy it, like he's changed his contract or something. But yeah, these are all just thoughts. The typical, you ask for something and then they ask you
halfway through a contract and they're like, you know what, actually I would like a demonic throne.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's me. That's everything.
Man, that looks really awesome. Thank you very much.
Cool.
Hope you enjoyed the weekend.
I did. And then I came straight into work on Monday morning and continued with all my other stuff. So
Right, and I think we're going to move on to Mod Mohawk, who's been working on some quality of life fixes over the Game Jam weekend.
Hi.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. How was your Game Jam weekend?
It was alright. I didn't come in on Sunday because I'm lazy, but I did do Saturday, so it was pretty cool.
Nice. So what quality of life fixes have you got for us?
So I did a couple which I'd been planning on doing anyway. Then I was on the Discord and I was taking quite a few what's the word?
Requests.
Requests. That is the word. Well done. Yeah, a couple of requests from the players as well.
I can imagine you got a lot of quality life suggestions.
There is a big list, and there are a couple of players which have been absolutely awesome and are keeping a nice, wonderful list for me to go through when I have some time. But yeah, so there's a couple that I'm going to show, but most of them are really quite small, so I'm just gonna wrap them
it's fine.
off.
It's cool.
So first off, I implemented a system where you can add multiple pets to a rotation. So at the minute I've got my little bobblehead out.
So what do you mean by rotation?
So I shall show you. Thank you for asking, Mr. Timbo.
That's why I'm here.
So I'll just dismiss that guy. So that was one bobblehead. Now when I summon another one, I'll get a different little bobblehead. So now we have Carol.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
And then I can dismiss him again. And then,
Who's next? And we have... Oh, Torag. Oh, nice.
yeah. So at the minute, it only handles up to 5, but I do have plans to make that bigger.
Any number of pets, or is it... So I can have any 5 pets that I want. So
Yes.
I can have like Woody, Bernie,
Yes. Yeah.
the rest of them, Willow.
The rest of them. I mean, ideally, me as a player, I'd want to be able to have all of my skill pets in rotation.
What, all 26?
Yeah.
Do you have 27?
No,
27?
like 4.
Oh, okay. That's
But I'm
fine.
getting there. I'm getting there slowly. But yeah, that's quite a lot of variables to make. But we'll see.
Yeah, so you say you want to increase it to 10, right? So you can have 10 favourite pets.
Yes. Yeah. And it's very simple. You do is go into the interface. It is a bit buggy at the minute, I will warn you. But you go into the interface, and I've added this new little button here, which you can add them in.
Nice.
Pretty simple. But yeah.
That's pretty swish.
What else did I do? So I'm here at the kudos guy, historian Minas.
Minas? Is it Minas Tirith?
Or is in minus as in... No, that's Midas. Ignore me. Going crazy. Who knows? Okay. So
I don't know. Dave's on the couch. Is it
Dave?
Minus or Minas?
Hello, it's Minas.
it's Minas.
Boom, there you go. Official lore.
Nailed
The
it.
lead designer himself.
So yeah, this is the guy that obviously will give you kudos when you've done certain quests. I've added a right click to him, which allows you to check what you still have left to do for
Right,
kudos.
okay.
So this character doesn't really have a lot, so they have to...
So you're missing 25 kudos.
Yeah, apparently I need to receive a Dragon Kim lamp from Mr.
Morda?
Yeah, I think for that one you have to go complete some quests and then go talk to this guy.
Yeah.
And
One
then
of a kind.
complete the statue at least once, which is downstairs. But yeah,
Nice.
that will show you all the quests that you still need.
More
to do.
dough, Timbo.
More dote.
More dote? Oh, you Philistine. More dough.
More
dough.
dough. It's a stupid name for a dragon.
It's French.
It's French.
I'm not civilized.
Yeah.
That's cool. Does it show you how much kudos each one gives or not?
No.
Okay, that'd
Should
be cool.
Should I add that? Should I add that?
Well, I mean, I think so. That'd be cool.
Let's add that. We'll add that.
Because
That would be
there are
silly.
certain things you need certain requirements for certain kudos. So if I could tick off the ones that would cost the most.
Yeah.
So I'm giving you live feedback about
Yeah.
something. I feel like Dave here. Jesus. Or Mod Osborne,
No,
sorry.
your feedback hasn't been 3 pages long. It's
No,
not
that's
quite-
true.
It's not
It's
quite Dave's.
not traffic light either.
But how would I know what to work on if it's not traffic light?
That's a very good
Gosh.
question.
Anyway, okay, so those are the 2 that I'm going to show, and then I'm just
And
going
you've got a list of a whole bunch of other stuff
I
you've
do
done.
have a list, yeah.
So rattle them off.
I added an op to ogre arrow shafts to feather them, like with normal arrow shafts, because I didn't have that. I also added an op to flighted ogre arrows to tip them, because normally they have that and ogre
You
arrows
say
don't.
it 3 times fast.
No. I could try, but no.
Yeah.
What else did I do? I made it so that on the escape menu, the settings button will remember what tab you were last on. So you can just go straight back to wherever you
That's
were.
cool.
I'm going to leave that one till last. I added, so if you're pickpocketing in Elf City, at that one clan beginning with M that I can't pronounce.
Melee.
Malia, there we go. You will auto redeem the DG tokens.
Oh, so what, the 10 and 100 bags?
Yeah, is it like 5? Somebody's clapping. We like
Shauny approves.
Oh, awesome.
This is like the most premium thieving QOL for Priff I've ever heard of in my life. Amazing.
I was
Yes.
also going to look at...
The chat is enjoying that as well.
I was also going to look at making it so if you had your charming imp equipped, it would also do the charms.
Oh,
But
right.
that's a
okay.
question for Timbo as to whether I could
That
do
is
that
a
one.
later question for me.
Yeah, that's a later question. Okay, I changed the legendary pet scavenge to instead of choosing a random item in your pile, it would choose the one that was most expensive.
Right, okay, so it doesn't pick up bones, it might pick up the
The actual good thing.
dragon chain body or something.
Yeah, like if that was your idea of an expensive item.
Yeah, sure.
The better thing. What else did I do? I added a toggle to allow you to auto-destroy weeds when you're raking.
Right, okay.
So you don't have to just drop them anymore. I added a right-click quick enter to the combat training camp so that you can skip the dialogue, but it still like maintains like the quest recs and all that kind of thing.
Oh, okay, cool.
Just so you don't have to read the dialogue every single time, or spacebar through the dialogue every time.
Not really.
Yeah, I made it so you can convert X when you're downgrading clues.
Oh, so if you're going from hard to medium, medium to easy. Okay.
Yeah, so you don't have to do them one at a time. You can do them in a chunk.
Nice.
And then this final one, I'm going to put a little bit of something to rest here. So Phoenix Lair, the two ops on the exit, and I hope everybody's okay with me telling them this.
The escape and
the
leave.
It's exit and escape. I think.
Exit and escape.
I can confirm that they do exactly the same thing.
Ooh, that's controversial.
Yeah, they do exactly the same thing. You have the chance of a pet from both of them. The only small difference is that the exit, which I think is the first op, says like a confirmed dialogue first to make sure that you want to leave.
Right, okay, yeah.
And then the second one just kicked you out. So what I've done is I've removed the second one.
So you remove the quick option.
Yeah, I removed the quick option. And now I'm thinking that maybe people might want an exit that doesn't have the dialogue.
I think you just need to have a button that that says, you didn't get the pet.
Yeah. You had a chance of getting the pet, but you didn't get it.
You can do the Araxor random note, maybe not, but...
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, so I removed one of them. So then, yeah, pets for everybody. But not pets for everybody.
Pets for all.
Pets for all. Ooh, I killed so many baby phoenix chicklings when I moved that pet into the interface. I feel like I should give out a load.
Wow. You're a monster.
Yeah, I think that is everything that I managed to do.
Are you still taking quality of life fixes, or...?
Always.
Always.
I need stuff to do on my tap days, so...
So that's at @ModMohawk on Twitter?
Yes.
If you would like to have more quality of life fixes in-game. Of course, the Ninja team do that already.
Yeah, I'm kind of still in the job.
But it's fine. More people doing quality of life fixes is great.
Yeah.
And that is fantastic. Thank you very much.
That's right, mate.
Moderator Mohawk. Next up, we have...
We are live. Hello.
Mod Iago.
How are we?
I am great. How are you?
I'm good.
Fantastic. What do you have for us today?
So, this is going to be pretty much the same as we showed off on Sunday.
Yeah, but there's people who weren't here on Sunday.
Yeah, so not much new there. Sorry, not much has changed from Sunday. But, yeah, so what we have is what we're calling skilling resource dungeons.
Okay.
Or unstable. And the reason for that is because they have a timer on them, which we'll go into in a minute. So the primary objective with this update is to add a wow moment to skilling. So
Okay.
we spoke about skilling drops. And
That
this
was
is
at the hit RuneFair skill
Yeah.
talk.
This is
Hosted
what...
by moderator Timbo and Ryan.
Yeah. Well, this is what
Which
this...
you can watch on YouTube right now.
Instead of policy.
For free even. It's crazy.
So,
Sorry, carry on.
yeah. So a wow moment went to skilling, and you'll get this map. And this map is...
So is that any skilling I can get that map from?
Yeah, it works the same as Uncharted Islands currently. Uncharted Island map, sorry.
Right, okay. So, yeah, randomly sometimes
Pretty
I'll
much,
get
yeah.
is there a limit similar to maps? So I can only get a certain amount?
Yeah, so just to confirm, this is skilling only, not combat.
Right, okay. So I can't get this from
No.
killing Abyssal Demons?
No.
Good.
Okay, so there is a limit on the map, but we don't want to just say, oh, you can only have one. So it's going to work similar to effigies.
Right, okay. So you can have a certain number. So, like, I get the first
more
one and
you
then the
have-
drop rate is worse.
Yeah,
Up to some cap.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to do with that. So once you get this map, what we're looking at doing is giving you sort of a compass. At the moment, these dungeons will be scattered across the world, but
Right,
they are
okay.
conveniently placed here.
So when I find a map and I click it, I then have to go find it like I would like a scan clear?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
So once you come here, we currently on here, we have what we call a peek in option.
Ooh.
I think probably be better if it's actually on the dungeon.
Yeah, potentially. So can you peek for us?
So
Give
yeah,
us a sneaky peek of
peek in, and at the moment, this
Yeah.
shows you some of the resources.
5 farming, and 5 woodcutting.
Yep.
What does that even mean? We'll find out soon.
Yeah, let's go
go
in. Okay, so we have a randomly generated dungeon.
Okay.
Which, as you may have noticed, is on a timer.
We are on a time limit.
Yep. These resources are going to be either give you a lot of XP and no resources, or a lot of resources.
So is there something I can choose before I enter, or
You can choose inside. We have this change
Oh,
mode.
only inside.
Well, yeah. Once you're you have a deactivated map, and then you activate it, and at that point you can change. So you can do this before.
So before I find the dungeon, I can.
But you can
change.
also do it inside the dungeon.
Right. Okay. So if I've got enough resources and just want to get XP, I can.
Yeah. Bear in mind, this is going to be a rare drop, so things in here are going to be overpowered because we want you to feel like, oh my god, I just got this. Yes.
4 elder trees next to each other is fine. That is absolutely fine.
Yeah, but on
Sit
that
there
note,
whenever.
elder trees, if you have 3 minutes and you spend it chopping these trees, you're going to get 10 logs. So
I didn't say it was. I didn't say it was great.
the idea is to obviously increase the gathering speed on this.
Oh, so okay.
A
So
lot.
if
Quite a
I
lot.
have 3 minutes, I won't spend 3 minutes chopping one log down.
No, definitely not.
I have a higher increased chance of,
Yeah.
of doing something. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
The idea is, you come in, you have these 3 minutes. You need to decide between the resources, like you may want div, or you may want some farming.
Wait, I thought when we peeked in, it said there was only farming and woodcutting.
Whip.
I thought it was something to do with the peak feature. I didn't know it was a bug.
Yeah, that's all work in progress.
Call yourself a QA analyst.
And yeah, we're also missing mining apparently.
Jesus. Oh, what's that?
What's it look like?
I mean, it looks like a blue box. Looks like a blue box from here. Ah, okay, it's a treasure chest.
It is a treasure chest. We are not sure what we're going to do with these at the moment, but it's the idea of unique spawns, which may or not.
So you don't know what's actually inside these chests right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you have ideas, send them to myself and Mod Edge.
Yeah, sorry, it's worth mentioning that Mod Edge also worked on this project.
Yeah, Mod Edge did most of the random, or well, all of the random generation, create the dungeon, etc.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, the idea is that you have way too many resources to harvest in the time you're received. Again, the 3 minutes is placeholder at the moment.
But it's basically I've got to just smash and grab, right?
Yeah.
Get inside, get as many resources, get as much speed as I think I can get a hold of.
Yeah.
And prioritize what. So in this dungeon, if I had 3 minutes, there's no way I could do all of them, right?
No.
So.
Well.
Well, no,
Because-
there's no way I can get all of them, right?
In
But-
this specific dungeon, no. But because this is all randomly generated, we'll probably look at doing a. So you could get unlucky and you could get a lower amount of resources, which you could harvest yourself in that time.
Right. Okay.
But we wouldn't want to make it too punishing. So you only harvest in for a minute and then you've still got 2 minutes. We wouldn't want to do that.
Right. Okay.
Probably looking at you spend it at least 80% of the time, at a minimum. That's if you're unlucky.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah, there's another feature though. What you could do is, if you peek in and you notice you have 40 resources, you can invite a friend.
Okay.
Once you invite a friend, they can come in with you and share the resources. Obviously, if you want mine, then you tell them beforehand, stay off my rocks.
Yeah. So the question from the chat was, what happens to her being? So you had a farming spot.
Yeah.
You could.
Let's go back in, shall we?
You could. So yeah, there was like a herb spot on the ground. What happens?
So, this is at the moment for all gathering skills, and it'll probably, more than likely, definitely stay that way.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Hunter, we're not sure what we want to do, but at the moment, farming will work like ZMI fishing, ZMI rune crafting, and the fishing in deep sea.
Oh,
where-
so when I I'll get random herbs around my level. Okay, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Just a quick side note to a question in the chat about a deposit box. Obviously, because you're going to be in here, there's a lot of resources. If you leave, you can't get back in. So yeah, there's deposit boxes scattered around the place.
So yeah, it's not. You don't have to have a time limit on like. It's not like a time limit on how fast can you fill your inventory.
No.
It's a time limit for how many resources I can collect. So
Yeah.
you come in here with hopefully an empty-ish inventory.
Yep.
Grab as much as you can, deposit it. Grab as much as you can, deposit
Yep.
it. Yeah.
Make loads of GP off the resources, or get no resources and a lot of XP.
Awesome.
Um,
Do porters work?
Yeah.
Boom, there you had it. You don't even need a deposit box.
No. But if you don't want to make the
What a
porters,
great
then-
skill divination is.
Yeah. So that's most of it summed up.
So do you have any plans going forward for changing this? Like, is there going to be like different layouts? Is there a theme? Is there a narrative here?
We're going to have we're looking at the moment, subject to change, 8 dungeons or so.
So 8 different types of dungeons?
Yeah. So all with the same mechanics, random generation and
But maybe there's a lava one, maybe there's a sea themed one, maybe there's a
yeah.
Okay,
sure. Cool. We'll leave that to the environment artist.
Well, yeah, I'm not an artist.
Hand on it.
But yeah. And then sort of like just tweaking it, making sure it works and
there's obviously a few things missing at the moment. There's no fishing. So we'll probably just have, like, you can see there's a bit of a dip in the ground here.
Wow, that's
so we'll fill
right.
that with water and have some fish in there.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so probably 8 different dungeons. So every time you come back in, it's still quite a new experience.
Yeah.
What we'll probably do as well is make you enter in a different location. So one time you might spawn here, one time over there.
Oh, so I might even
one
be
time
at
over
the
there.
entrance.
Mm-hmm.
Right, okay.
Just the idea. Yeah.
The most important question, can you surge and bladed dive in here?
Sure. Definitely.
Yeah. If you want to get that sweaty, you can.
Yep.
Nice.
I would.
Well, you are, Mr. Warden. Mr. Trim Comp.
That's me.
Awesome. Yeah, as you.
That's
awesome. Me. So if you've got any more feedback for these guys, you're welcome to take it on Twitter, I imagine. So that's at JagEdge and at JagX Iago.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's pretty much everything.
And we are about to head over to the couch to join special guest Mod Mark, along with Mod Raven and the other 2 people.
I'm done with the stream.
Yeah.
All right, Timbo. All right, I'll keep that in mind. Yes, we are back on the couch. Mod Raven to our far left here, and to my right, Mod Mark.
Hello.
Last time we had you on a RuneScape stream was RuneFest, of course, the yearly talk that you do.
Right, yeah.
How have you been since then?
Busy. Working on some interesting secret projects. Still kind of RuneScape, but not the RuneScape I love.
Shauny will reveal them at some point.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Yes.
Hello.
Oh, he has.
Shauny ready
warm
to
reveal.
live fix.
One day I probably will go over the edge, I swear, honestly. All right, so how come, so I have to ask, obviously with Game Jam went up, what kind of inspired you to get involved in this?
I love working on RuneScape content, and whilst I'm not sort of directly working on either of our currently live RuneScape products, I like to sort of keep my hands, or my thumbs in a few pies, as it were. And I've always got things that I want to work on as well. Like, there's always things that I feel like is our unfinished business in RuneScape, or things that, you know, have evolved in certain ways that mean some of my favourite content isn't sort of used anymore. So it's nice to sort of keep involved, really, and scratch that design itch that I often have.
So obviously through the stream so far you've seen gameplay sections for this part. Mark has put together a PowerPoint deck as such, so he'll kind of explain to you what he's been up to. A couple things to reiterate, obviously. It's based on how it's received by everyone watching as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, quite a lot of these projects, they're very clever individuals and they know how to code as well, unlike most of us. You know, so, well, you know, you do a bit of code, right? Yeah. To be fair, it's just me and Dave, really. You know. So these are just concepts, they're ideas. A couple of them are pretty fully fledged design documents and they aren't too far off being complete. But they deliberately got some holes left in them so that people who, if they are picked up, if the community like them, if there are developers inside the building that like them, then they've still got a bit of space to flex their creative muscles. But yeah, I kind of took a slightly different approach to the jam from a lot of people, just identifying things that I feel like I'm kind of missing in the game or not as prominent as they used to be, and those are the things that I wanted to work on. It's been such a long time as well. It was about working on those things that I've been thinking about for a while rather than necessarily the immediate needs of the game. Although I would argue they probably all fit into that category anyway.
Awesome.
So yeah.
All right, let's bring it up, and you got the clicker, so lead the way.
Okay, so these are kind of my objectives, really. So the first one was about adding more fun, social kind of impromptu things to the game. So some of my favourite memories of Classic are things like conga lines moving between the settlements, or random cabbage bombing or something like that. So I wanted to bring that kind of vibe back to the game a little bit. Also, there is, as the game evolves and it gets bigger, more and more content becomes underused. It becomes things that the players don't really go and do anymore. So tried to think about some ideas to make better use of some areas of the game. The next one was about working with players on just listening to their ideas about social tools that we could have, particularly to help out friends chat channels, because my friends chat channel in game is very dear to me, and there's always lots of tools that we would like to have to help the chat flow better. And then the last one is just this thing that is kind of occupying a lot of my design thoughts at the moment, which is this phrase of life imitating art. But then you kind of get this expansion of life imitating art, imitating life. And in many ways, RuneFest is the product that imitates RuneScape. And wouldn't it be interesting if we could get some content in the game that was inspired by RuneFest? And that's really what my first idea is all about, which is the concept of a costume parade inside the game. So imagine a situation where an NPC pops up in the game world and wants to do a costume parade. So it'll come up with a theme for the costume, and then the players have to run to their bank and pull out items or their costume box or whatever, wherever they've got their stuff stored, and wear costumes that fit in with that theme. And then they follow that NPC as that NPC leads a giant conga line to the next settlement where a new theme is established. And every time a new theme is established, then they do a scan. It does a scan of all the players in the area, sees what costume they're wearing, and then gives them points if they're appropriate to the theme that the NPC has called out. And then along the way, there are things that can happen to the players. So imagine if an NPC appeared and shouted twin. So in that situation, you're trying to find a player who's got a set of costume on very similar to the costume that you're wearing. And so you pair up with someone, and then you both get points depending on how many of those pieces of costumes match that also match the theme for that particular journey. Then you might have a unique competition where you are taking a bet on whether or not you think you are wearing a unique piece of costume that nobody else is wearing. Or there might be little sort of pop-up events that happen along the way that are associated with people that wear cosplay. So for example, pretty much every RuneFest I've been to, I've had a cosplayer come up to me and go, "Oh, I've lost this fluffy chimchomper," or "Do you know where my dragon dagger is?" They've lost a key part of their costume, and you have to run around and find it. So they would spawn along the way, and players that grab those items along the way would also get points. Players with the most points win, and generally it's sort of costume on offer, potentially ideas like giving the players older bits of costume or cosmetics from Solomon's store, and some obligatory XP as well. The idea really of this is just something that's a bit of a laugh. It would be nice if it could be something that would reward players or give them a chance to win a RuneFest ticket or something like that, because it is effectively inspired by RuneFest. But the idea is that this could happen anywhere at any time. It might work better if it was something that could be spawned or created by a player, so they could start the thing off. I don't imagine that any of these things are sort of daily pieces of content that become part of like dailyscape issues. Yep. That's not what I'm trying to do. So yeah, that's the first idea. The second idea is a concept for a portable hunter creature. So this is the idea that a player could go to a shop and buy a creature, a hunting creature, that they could release into the game world, and then they could go and catch that creature for some hunting XP. If you catch somebody else's creature, then you get more hunting XP. So the idea is that lots of players would get together in one area, releasing hundreds of these things, all running around and gathering the creatures that have been released, and then getting hunting XP in return. So any area can potentially be turned into a hunting zone. I don't imagine you would need specific pieces of equipment to catch these things, so you could very well stumble into an area or see one of these things flying around and just pick it up. Just like gnome balls, if you pick it up, it's now in your inventory. So you can then drop it down again and use it a second time. If a creature isn't found, then it disappears, and it doesn't end up in someone's inventory. So that's and you get hunting XP based on your current levels as well. That's the idea. I'm not trying to make a buyable way of training hunting. So you would have a limit perhaps to the amount you could buy or the amount that you could catch, something like that. That's the general idea. And the next one. So this is a bit of a crazy one.
Petcetera.
So pets, very popular in the game. And I've always wanted to turn into the pets. I always thought it would be really cool if you could swap around the pet and the hero. So the pet was actually leading and the hero was following. But that's not the idea that I implemented. I implemented the idea that wouldn't it be cool if you could all turn into pets and eat each other? That is as simple as that, really. So why couldn't you? So let's go to an underused game area of the game, somewhere like Zenaris, which has got a natural fence around the area, and is somewhere that players don't really go a lot. There's not a lot of major reasons why a high-level player, a veteran player, would ever go to Zenaris.
Except for clues, maybe.
Clues,
Apart from clues, yeah, okay. So you start this minigame. Load of food appears on the floor. Different types of food appropriate to a whole bunch of different pets that you could be. You eat a bit of food and you turn into that pet. You eat more food, lots more food, then you grow. So you can see on the top of the screen there's a little sneaker peeper and I've forgotten this name again, Timbo. Stalker, and then the night gazer dude at the end there. So you start off as a sneaker peeper, then you eat loads and you turn into the stalker, and you'd eat some more, you turn into the big guy. Each pet has a natural enemy. So you can see in the little sort of trio down there, we've got a Phoenix Eggling, one of my favourite pets ever in the game. Phoenix Eggling, or any growth of the Phoenix, always beats Troll. So irrelevant of how big you are, you can always eat a Troll. So if you see another player, you can go up to it, eat it, they're out, they're gone. And you have now eaten them, so you're growing more because you've increased your food again. It is rock, paper, scissors, but I've got a 10 creature rock, paper, scissors. And it could be as big as you like, really.
Yeah, it's the cycle of life, really, isn't it?
Exactly, Timbo. And in this situation, the troll always beats dragon, dragon always beats Phoenix. So irrelevant of how big you are. I also was a bit like, this doesn't necessarily make any sense, but then ultimately monkeys win. So I was trying to make it make sense, but I thought it's RuneScape. We don't have to try that hard to make things make sense. Anyway, you get bigger, as I said. So if a Phoenix was level 2, they'd start off as an eggling, then you grow into a Phoenix, then maybe you're a rock or something like that. If you see the same creature as you, but it's smaller, you can eat them. And you can grow that way as well. You can always eat a different type of food and then start as that creature from the beginning of its chain as well. And the game just continues to go until there's only one person left. In this game, I would imagine the player would gain summoning XP, and we'd probably unlock some new pets. Again, just from a very brief discussion with some coders, these are much smaller ideas. Quite often, in the past, certainly, we've invested a big sort of development budget in a mini game, and it's really popular to start with, and then it kind of dies off a little bit. I remember mobilizing armies, for example, from years ago. It's a huge amount of effort, but players weren't that engaged for too long. Of course, that's sometimes about rewards and other players that are there to play, but these concepts are about being able to bring that kind of fun into the game, but at a lower development cost, which is why it's all reusing existing assets or very, very small things that we could add. So the next thing's chat channel
here we go.
improvements.
I can't wait for the chat.
So
on this one.
thanks very much for everyone that contributed to this. They had loads of people on the Discord coming up with ideas, but also, various different conversations I've had in my own friends chat channel with my ranks about the tools that would be really useful for them to have. I've got a big page of these suggestions, but I tried to put the top ones in of recommendations that kept coming up. The top one being a way of making it easier to filter players out of friends chat channels, just to combat trolls.
Yep.
Or mass spamming, more importantly. So the concept that you could tie a minimum level to entry into a friends chat or membership status, because generally people that are making throwaway accounts aren't making them members, or even the concept of like a playtime number, so that you could switch those things on and keep spam accounts out of your friends chat channels. And anyone that spends any time in any friends chat channels, it does seem that if it's popular enough, someone will try and upset things. So this is a way of trying to stem that. There's a bunch of different ideas in there as well, like
we're able to make it full screen, guys, if that's okay.
being able to add a right-click option to a special message, to a server message, so you could send congrats to someone. The idea of re-looking at the way that the chanclat. Well, there we go. Chanclat.
It has to be called that from now on. Oh my
we
god.
should always call it that from now on.
Wow, that is amazing.
It's a horrible disease.
That could have been so much worse. Anyway, the clan chat.
There we go.
Just in the way that the way the chanclat. The thing I'm talking about, the way that it's displayed in the lobby is different from the way that it's displayed in the game, and also the way that it orders the names. It kind of starts with capital letters and then numbers and then lowercase. It's all a bit confusing. So fixing that. Then the next thing was about increasing the friends chat size. Which is something that a lot of people always talk about. And then another one, actually a lot of people talked about this, and I was very surprised about this. And this was the concept that a clan chat, a clan, not the chat, or a friends chat channel could access a mini game privately, so that only they went and played the game. Now, quite often that's just to avoid people that are coming in and ruining the game. Of course, there's XP balancing issues to consider from that perspective. But generally, it was about, look, I'm with my bunch of mates. I want to play a game with my bunch of mates. And what's wrong with that? So that was something that came up a few times. And then the last one there, I can't quite see that. You've made it small screen.
Adding the notes
function.
Oh, it's the notes function. So there are lots of friends chat channels that are committed or dedicated to one activity, whether it's penguin hunting or whatever. It'd be great if there was a little notes function there so that a player could go in and read and understand the function of the channel. If it was a social thing and they wanted to post about the fact that they were going to be meeting at some stage, you could put it in that notes function. It's just a useful thing to add for channels that have a purpose.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that was those ones. So, okay, next is the big one. So my bugbear for a long time has been the fact that shops in the game are completely and utterly underused. Now, I appreciate that there are some Iron Men that will go and use shops. There are also people that will go and buy certain items from shops because they're cheaper than the GE. But generally, it's because they want to put those items on the GE and make a bit of money. And then going back to our kind of life imitating art statement earlier, with the popularity of the internet and massive supermarkets, local shops have got to find a way to kind of reinvent their businesses and find a new angle. And really that's what this is all about. It's about shops finding a new angle of some kind of service to provide in the game. So the base idea is that every shop in the game that we deem to be not useful, which is most of them, has an infestation, a different creature rolled randomly from a drop table that is appropriate in both theme and level to the area. So desert shops are going to have desert creatures, and et cetera, et cetera. these creatures move in to the basement or around the shop, and every shop in that town will have some of these creatures in it. I run around, I kill these creatures, or I use my construction and my hunter skills to build a giant box trap which attracts these creatures, and then when they're all hoovered up, I go and interact with the box trap and get a bunch of hunting XP. Again, hunting XP has come in quite a lot because it's probably my least favourite skill in the entire game. No offence to the people that made it, which includes me. However, if you do all that, then one of the shops in the area says, "Oh, you're awesome. I want you to help me reinvent my business." I should just say that with this concept, it's bringing more life into town. So there's just a bit more action going around. So you'd see these creatures running around. The NPCs would be talking about them. If you dealt with the problem, the NPCs would be thanking you using sort of NPC say, just bringing a little bit more life to each of the settlements. But if you have decided that you want to start this shop empire game, then now you can stock your shops with special items that the NPCs in the area need to deal with an infestation. It's the same principle of animals that are moving in, but you don't run around dealing with them, the NPCs do. So there could be a variety of different things that happen. I've got a massive kind of table that I'm not going to introduce to people here, but the basic concept is there's a problem. You have two ways of solving that problem. You invent things or craft things and put them in the shop. The players, you can also use your construction skill to reinvent the shop and build new props, furniture, and things like that within the shop itself. So you're gaining construction on the surface level. And then you sell the items. You can go back to the shop every once in a while, repair the things that you've built and add more content or add more items to the shop. You are making all these items, so you're getting the XP for making the items as well. And then at the end of a certain period of time, I'd like this to run in the same way as Throne of Miscellanea, where where it's based on where I go and get the rewards when I choose, rather than it being a kind of scheduled monthly thing almost. So I go and I get a bunch of XP from the shop. I get XP that matches the items that I have made. So if I have made a prayer amulet that summons skeletons, then I'll get a bunch of prayer XP when I go and deal with my shop. There are a bunch of different creatures, a bunch of random things that I can do to deal with those creatures, and each one of those things has got a different sort of XP associated with them. And I tried to be as kind of broad as possible. Again, this is all about non-combat stuff. So the kind of full version of the shops is much more for skillers, for crafters, for people who enjoy making items rather than going out and fighting things. I mean, in an ideal world, this would have a decent GP return, a decent XP return, so that I would be encouraged to go and do this as a skiller, as a way of making a decent bit of money. That's the kind of idea. So each time I invent a solution, a new problem occurs. Because of the solution that I've invented, a new type of creature has come infesting the town, or the shops become so popular it's attracted pirates, or a variety of different things. I can also unlock new shops, so I can have multiple shops across the world, which I need to communicate, or I need to aid communication between those shops. So I have trade caravans that move between one shop and another that I have to defend, just like World Event 2. I imagine a situation like that might be more multiplayer, where I could actually get other people to help me in what's going on. Can you go full screen again, please? Yep, so that was stage 2. So yeah, they're the caravans, not those kind of caravans, those kind of caravans. So again, in summary, the NPCs have a problem. I solve it. I invent one of two things. The NPCs go and buy those things. Each one is associated with a different sort of XP. When I come back, I fix things up. I add more stock, or that section finishes and I get a bunch of XP relative to the items that I created. I've now created a new problem, so I invent a new solution. Eventually, these shops become self-sufficient, and they can and they can provide the player with a passive amount of GP every month. They don't require the player's input anymore, but they're super happy. Again, the NPCs are running around interacting with the things you've made, interacting with the creatures that are appearing, and can talk to you and talk about you when you go back to the environment. So it's just bringing a bit more love and a bit more life to the places. I'm not trying. What I'm trying to do is just stop shops feeling like graveyards.
Yeah.
It's not going to be something crazy like some kind of Uber Black Friday sale, but it's just about bringing a bit more life to those places. But it's not involving players; it's involving NPCs. Then just finally, very quickly, a couple of ideas for cool rewards. One of those was the concept of a shopkeeper follower. So you could go off into a dungeon and you'd have your little shopkeeper with you. You have the ability to pick up items and sell them to the shopkeeper as you're in the dungeon. Other people can also do that if they want to, so they can pick up items and sell them to the shopkeeper. If they do, you get a percentage of the gold of the item. Yeah. And he might even have a stock of a few bits of food. It might be random every time. You'd never use him as an alternative to a beast of burden or something like that. But I just thought it might be interesting for a kind of support role player to have their little shopkeeper follower. That's basically it. There's a whole load of other stuff there, but I'm probably way over my allotted time.
There are a few angry behind-the-scenes messages in front of us.
Really? What? That I'm just blabbing on?
Next section, please.
Oh, we can ignore. In my experience, if the person talking to you is wearing headphones, ignore them. Oh, he's got no headphones on. All right, I'll stop. Look, PD. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Mark. All right, so we got a little bit more on the couch before we come back over to the gaming computers. So next up, I'm going to come over to Mod Raven and Mod Osborne. Have to share microphones. Just could be interesting.
Hello.
I don't want to get too close.
Do you want this one?
Yeah, actually.
Yes. No longer tease him.
Yes.
So you guys had a little bit of competition with each other for Game Jam. What was that?
Ish.
Ish.
It was planned to be a competition, and then we went in different directions, and it sort of stopped being a competition.
Yeah, we thought we'd try to outdo each other with the number of quests we could produce in a weekend, which turns out to be 1 and 2, which isn't that's not much of a race, but we tried.
So when we say produce, like we're talking about writing full script, as in like the dialogue and.
That's it.
Right.
The aim being that actually there's quite a few developers, more than we thought, who would be interested in doing a quest, but aren't as versatile in the dialogue arena or something. I don't know. They can't write. No, I don't mean that. Says the quest writer who can't code or do anything with any skill.
So
I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah, I'm
just
not too
annoying
sure.
virtually everybody I work with.
I'll come to you first then, Osborne. So you said you did 2? Which quests?
Yeah,
what were the ideas?
One of them is an adapted screenplay. This is
Adapted.
Mod Ryan had an idea for the origin of Virago, because Virago's cool. Yeah, he's a big rocky dude, but what's his origin? What's he doing there? So we explored that. So yeah, Virago is having a bit of a kind of who am I moment, and he does what we all do when we have that kind of moment, which is send a friend back in time into the third age to find out exactly who you are. So we do that. So you get the Maul of Omens, you get the outfit of Omens, you jump into a pool, explore the third age, and find out exactly.
So just
who
clarify,
Virago is.
you won't need the. You
get given these
right
temporarily
because for people to I imagine if you made the outfit
lending
requirement,
system. Virago,
yeah, it might be like that's going to take some time. Okay,
yeah,
good.
yeah, you're using the assist system.
Awesome.
Yes, so it's really good. It's
Ryan just said time to rewrite it all myself based on your comments, FYI.
That was a heavy implication that he can't write. I might have to work on that. Mod Ryan is a fantastic writer. He's just.
Are you just trying to save face now?
Yeah. Yes, I think I've got plenty of face to save. The in-joke here. Sorry for everybody who doesn't like in-jokes in these streams. I have a massive face. That's going my thick legs. Yeah, thank you very much to the chat.
We always imagine that Dave's head has its own gravitational system.
Yeah.
So things just suddenly get stuck in the gravitational pull of Dave's head.
If you're ever late for a meeting, just use a slingshot past my head.
Exactly.
Use the gravity,
Yeah. Picard maneuver. Off we go. Yeah. Anyway, yes, Dave's head.
Back. Anyway.
God.
And the other one,
Other one.
Skill Pick Quest, which did really well in the survey. Like recently, build a backlog. The idea of like mastering your skill, you get to 99, and if you really want to show how good you are in that skill, you do this special kind of skilling fight caves kind of thing. Really hazardous, really hard to do to get an expanded skill cape, more perks, and some extra cool rewards for that skill. And so yeah, it's a Hunter Skill Cape 1. We're going to do it.
What the? What are you guys doing with production here?
Slick.
Oh boy! Right.
Do something about my face.
So what is?
Is there a face reduction surgery?
What is the?
Get a bowl, just draw around it.
Jeez, I've lost control of everything. What is?
Giant face.
So what is this? What's the skill based on?
What's the skill based on?
Sorry, escape quest with the skill.
it's,
What's it based
the
on?
idea of Osborne's mic is broken.
Yeah, I think maybe.
Oh, sorry.
Did you turn it off?
He probably pressed the button.
Okay, I think you'll be good now. Try talk.
Hello, is that? Are we okay? Hello.
We have to wait. For
We have to
Twitch-
wait 10
Well,
seconds.
I mean, in the duration, Raven. Let's come to you actually because
right, cheers.
Hello.
I have to cut you off. I have to do this because we. Okay, it's working now, but you're still being cut off, Osborne. I'm sorry. You accidentally turned the mic off, by the way.
Yeah, all right, move along.
So
This is the most professional
absolute
stream I've
control,
been in.
ladies and gentlemen. Right, Raven, what
Hello.
did you get to? So you said one quest.
Yes.
What was that focus on?
So I wanted to look at one of the quests that scored quite highly on the survey we sent out recently was the idea of a sequel to Desert Treasure, a Desert Treasure 2, if you will, or an ancient treasure, not Jungle Treasure.
Jungle treasure.
Because the argument. Sorry, there were lots of arguments in Discord over how we should name the quest before they knew what the quest was. It was Jungle Treasure because of something I think you mentioned.
Yeah, it's the
once.
Desert Strike rule. You've got to go from Desert Strike to Jungle Strike.
Yeah.
That's a 90s joke. I apologise.
So I was looking at Desert Treasure 2 and what people would want from that. A lot of my time was actually spent gathering data rather than writing the design for it. So I had a number of people in Discord. I had some straw polls up and running to look at what people wanted. So it was we were looking at the idea of a spiritual successor rather than a direct sequel. Although, admittedly, that was true on the straw poll for the first 6 hours, and then that flipped completely, which was great.
Oh, so you wanted to flip then?
No. So I had a straw poll running.
Oh, so you did you started to work
And the straw poll said quite clearly spiritual successor. I thought brilliant, so I started writing and designing a spiritual successor, and then in the evening it swapped over to a direct sequel. And it's like, well, it's a spiritual successor now.
Do you think that's geography? Do you think?
I think there's a geography-based thing in there.
Right.
Yeah. I just found it interesting because I did another straw poll as well about the content of it, and that also flipped, which I found quite interesting. It only flipped slightly, very similar themes, so I think the ones we've gone for seem to have gone down well. But yeah, anyway, where was I? So we looked at what Desert Treasure means to people, and obviously rewards was a big thing in there. There's something equivalent to Ancients, which I haven't touched on. I've just looked at the quest. And the idea of it being split up, you can do it in any order, and it feeling like a bunch of different stories that eventually merge into one. So that's what we've been kind of looking at, kind of what we've been pitching, and also a lot of globetrotting, because globetrotting was a big thing that people wanted. So the current design of Desert Treasure 2 goes all over the place. So there's a section in Karamja, there's a section in the desert, there's a section up north, and there's a section somewhere else. I forget where it was, but it's far. All on Gillinor, not sending them off world yet, but yeah, and. So I had there's going to be spoilers if anyone doesn't want to be spoilers, me. Apparently Mod Mark doesn't want spoilers. So we were looking at the sort of areas that people were interested in, the sort of subjects that people wanted to go over. And the sort of top few ones were the lesser known Majorat. So Trindine, Palkira, Abragal, I think that's his name. I keep forgetting.
They sound like Thundercats to me.
I mean, they're Majorat. They're very similar to Thundercats, except completely different. Zerosian humans and people in the Second Age was another big topic, and just some of the lesser-known characters. So for this new design, we've looked at Kimura, because no one knows anything about Kimura. We thought we may as well learn something about Kimura. So, Trindine, we're going to go into Trindine's story a bit. Palkira and the Desert Bandits, a bit more on those, is what we were looking at.
Are you happy with the progress you made over Game Jam?
No, I didn't do anywhere near as much progress as I intended to do over the Games Jam. I intended to have the whole thing completed, and I've done the starting section, including all the dialogue, and a good chunk of the Kimura section, but I still have 3 other sections and the end bit, so not as much as I wanted.
It's fair. Osborne, I'm going to come back to you. Hopefully, your microphone's not off this time.
I haven't pressed the button.
So we were kind of, before obviously that happened, we were talking about second quest you worked on, which was the skill kick quest.
Yeah.
So based on Hunter, correct?
Yeah, that's it.
So what's the premise here then?
Yeah, you're going to you're cast away on an island, well, deliberately cast away, because you've got to survive for a number of days. This isn't real-time days, in-game days. So you've got to jump through a number of hoops, hunter hoops. You're kind of killing creatures to feed yourself. You're hiding under shelter when it gets hot because you're on the equator. You're doing all of these things to survive until the Rohani really kind of takes notice of you, the wild cat, and then you get to take it down via some protracted kind of Deadfall-ish type thing. But yeah, the aim is that this kind of quest people love, and we do 27 of them, or more when more skills come out.
You sounded like that sounded very sad as you said that for some reason.
Oh yeah, I'm going to write more.
And we do 27 of those.
I just seeing my life ahead of me. Yeah. The next 27 years of skill cape quests.
That's a lot of game jams.
That is a lot of game jams. But I am up for it. Let's do it. Yeah, it's really cool. The idea of, as I said, skinning fight caves, or having more of a sandboxy quest. Not everything has to be linear and kind of told to you. So, yeah, I'm liking it. Now I've just got to persuade somebody to make it.
What are you looking at me for?
Well, I heard you can code. You'll do.
So, when we look at Game Jam, this question to you as well, Raven. How did you guys find Game Jam, just as an overall experience, I guess, for this year?
I'd do it more frequently if I could. I love them.
I do enjoy the Games Jam. I enjoyed coming up with the ideas with the players in Discord. I quite enjoyed the arguments they were having in Discord. It was funny to watch. Sort of passive observer, just watching them all fall apart. It's great fun to watch. I shouldn't have encouraged it, but I did. And I would do it again. But it was interesting to watch. It was interesting to see what things interest people, where their ideas come from, how kind of they think, which is... Yeah, it was good fun, and it was good fun being mean to Lethal Intent as well, because I'm always mean to Lethal Intent, because he killed Elened.
Awesome. Osborne, and then General.
Yeah, it was juicy. It was good.
It was juicy.
Yeah, it was all gravy.
Oh boy.
Is that the term we're going for? Juicy.
Right. Should we get back to some gameplay section, Timbo? Are you gonna get ready to head on over to gameplay? I believe
sure thing.
Over to mod Stu next, and Stu has been very busy over Game Jam, so we've got some awesome stuff to show from that.
Yes,
so much stuff.
It's God Stu and you as well.
Stu.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, so let's roll over to Stu, and then Timbo will be right there.
Hello. So here we are on Tutorial Island, which is going to be the new tutorial for RuneScape. And mostly, I'll be showing you stuff from the new player experience, so what you're going to be doing after the tutorial.
Hello, Stu.
Hello again. Now, this is going to feel eerily similar.
Very similar. Should I make the same jokes?
I think we might have to, yeah. Because I was only in for the Game Jam for 1 day, so nothing has changed since the last time.
To be fair, I've not mentioned an obscure British TV show yet.
Yeah, well, we can work on that.
Yeah, well, I'll think of one.
But this does give me a second try at actually managing to get through my own construction tutorial, so we'll see how well I do.
I remember that.
Because last time I had a really hard time bringing enough planks.
So, what was the... So, I don't know if you've explained, what was the overall theme of your Game Jam weekend? It was...
The new player experience is the broader term for it. So essentially what the player does after Tutorial Island, and they need to be given other objectives and learn about how the rest of the game works.
Yeah,
so the main thing that we're introducing players to is the achievement paths, which is a replacement for the path system. Now, in the... let's see which one has taken me to in this example. So currently there's a path system in game which very rigidly takes you through a certain set of content. So it takes you to do Blood Pact, and then you get bounced across to Varrock to do Demon Slayer, and it teaches you daily challenges, and then you do Shadow over Ashdale. And if you try to deviate off that path, it
hates you for it.
Yeah, it darkens the screen and makes you click certain buttons, and it's very rigid.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give the player more choice about what they do. So the achievement paths are more about giving you options. So
There's a lot of achievement paths.
There's a fair few, yeah. So currently there are quite a few in Burthorpe that are live. I've added in several in Lumbridge because the idea is that you start off the tutorial island, you'll land in Lumbridge. It's a more iconic area where you it's sort of like the starter before the main course of that intensive scaling you do in Burthorpe.
It's like the bread and butter before the starter.
Yeah, you kind of sample a few different bits from the platter. There are a few quests that you can do in Lumbridge. There's the Combat Academy to teach you about combat. Blood Pact does the 3 different sides of the combat triangle, while Vanica just teaches you the basics of melee. And you have your first dungeon there in the Lumbridge Catacombs.
Okay.
Nice. And there as well, we also have some points in there to go through the steps of getting the Mask of Dragath Nirn, which is now a cosmetic override.
Okay, nice.
Got like one of the Master Quest requirements is to where is it? The one about the statuettes. It's in here somewhere. Yeah. So just basically the system is take anything that's an achievement or a quest and string it together. So that we can point the players towards doing certain content. It's not just for new players though. Like we have paths in here for all the quest series. So if you've heard of the Chosen Commander, but you don't know exactly which quests are in that quest series to work your way up to it.
So these are new achievement paths you've added.
Yeah. So there's a few in the game already, but the quest series are new. Some that are live already, like for example, if you want to know how to get to Prithinus, it lists all the different quests that you need to do and their prerequisites.
That's not as long as I thought it would be.
Yeah, it's not too bad. And if you wanted to do, say, the World Wakes, all of the requirements leading up to it.
Okay, that's a lot of quests.
Yeah, all the backstory essentially to the 5th Age. Those are existing ones. But yeah, so if you want to know about the Dwarf Quest series, then you can go through that list.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And so I think the next thing, I guess, would be to jump over to Burthorpe to show you the construction path, because that one in particular has changed a little bit.
So yeah, this is the brand new free-to-play construction, right?
That's right. So currently, free-to-play don't have a training method for construction. We've recently removed the requirement from Perils of Ice Mountain to require and give construction anyway.
Hello, Shauny.
Once this comes out, we'll be able to put that back on again. Hey, Shauny.
Can I jump in just a moment?
Sure.
Just a heads up for everyone watching, we have just deployed the NXT warm fix. So I'm going to send a message to all of you in game right now. So if you restart your client, you'll get the right click fix as well as the crash fixes. And now we're back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shauny.
Cool.
So restart your clients.
Hopefully I can hold on for long enough. All right. So first of all, we're going to buy ourselves a house. Now, construction is more for a fairly advanced player, relatively speaking, because it's mostly designed as a money sink. So I'm going to
20,000 is a lot.
I'm going to need a stack of cash.
That's an advanced player.
Yeah, that's a bit more than I'll necessarily need. So now, first of all, I want to buy myself a house. That's going to cost me... how much is it? Yeah, that much.
Man. House prices haven't changed in RuneScape much, have they?
No, they really haven't.
They're like compared to real life in the last 17 years.
Let's see. So there's a plank maker right here in Tevley for me to saw some logs into planks. It says I'm going to need some logs. So I'll do it the legit way the first time, then I'll just fill my bank to make sure I don't bring any more. And I'm completely new here, so it's going to tell me first time I chop a tree and give me achievements for them, because there's ones for introducing your survival skills too. There you go.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. You get the general idea, and
now it's going to cheat the rest.
Now I'm going to cheat the rest, because you ain't got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Nobody got time for that. And I'll also just convert that one I've got into planks. I've got a full set. Right, so now I want to go into building mode. I want to build some stuff. And so here I am as a free player going to my house.
So this is the free-to-play house?
That's right, yeah. So
it's a little smaller than normal. Or is that just me?
No, I think it expands the size of the canvas as you add in new rooms, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's been like 11 years since I built my house.
It's been a while. So. Let's see. So once you build any item of furniture, you know what I forgot? I forgot nails.
Oh.
It's going to...
We need to add no more nails.
I know, right? Construction. Why do you do this to me? Okay, so fortunately, here's one I prepared earlier. There's this shop here where... So I don't have to go through all that trouble of going and making my own bronze bars and making the bronze nails. I can just buy them directly from the shop here. I can also buy bolts of cloth and the most basic plants. Just saves me going all the way to the rock sawmill when I'm still initially trying to learn the skill.
Yeah, nice.
I mean, it's a very small stock comparatively, so it's not going to last me for very long. Probably not going to be very useful for the long-term training, but to initially ease you into the skill.
I mean, for free-to-play, they only have up to level 5 anyway, so...
Yeah. So it's pretty much just enough there to sustain that initial bit of building you're doing. You get your few levels and you're done. Right, so now I've got loads of nails, I've got my planks, I can start building stuff. I might ding in a minute. I'm wasting a lot of these nails. There we go.
Oh, you did
Drop the hammer. I'm going to need level 2 construction for the next one, so let's build some more. Let's see if I brought enough cloth.
1, 2...
Ooh, exciting stuff.
Oh, man, give a round of applause for Stu, please.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I was here all weekend, try the veal. Well, actually, I wasn't. What? Out of planks.
No, you're out of cloth, pal.
Yeah. Let's see, can I build this? What am I out of this time? Planks, nails. Oh,
you're not level 4. Yeah.
Fail. Okay, I'll build you.
Oh, what do we got?
I'm also going to speed this up because it's kind of slow.
Level 3.
There we go. That's better.
Oh.
Right, let's go and get
No
ourselves
applause
some
this time.
plants.
Thanks, moderator.
For you to render. There we go. That'll do. Probably won't. Okay, so now let's build some stuff on a garden. Let me build stuff in the garden. Oh, I need a watering can.
You need a watering can.
I should actually be reading my own instructions because it details it in a very detailed fashion here, but I just can't be able to read it. Here we are. So there we go.
I mean, you made the path, I guess.
I know.
You don't have to read your own path.
Yeah.
But there's a watering can off the dude, right?
Yeah, so you can just buy one directly from there. I know I'm going to need that stuff later.
I'm just
shooting myself in the foot. But
does this stock ever replenish, or?
It does gradually over time. Yeah.
Okay.
It has the same replenishment rate as. Oh, whoops!
You're not build mode.
I'm so bad at this.
There we go.
Should have practiced. There we go. Now what am I missing now?
Level 5. Yeah.
Here we go. I can build things. Woo!
Oh.
Look at that.
Level 4 as well.
4.
Got a bookcase now.
Yeah, let's go for it. There we go. Bookcase. Bam.
Oh, level 5. We did it.
I can even get my account security book out and read that if I really wanted to. Because security is very important.
Very important.
Yep. I didn't bring enough of what
Not enough cloth.
this time. Not enough cloth.
But you can build a tree.
I can build trees. We can do this. Slowly but surely,
Farming
we can get through this. And what am I forgetting now?
You don't have any bad dead trees.
No dead trees. Just the small ones. Fail. I mean, if it wasn't for this shop here, this would be taking me hours.
Yep. It feels like that.
Yeah. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
When you messing, Stu. So you meant buying trees?
Yeah. So dead trees this time. Here we go. Hopefully there'll be enough.
Did you buy them?
Pretty sure I did.
Oh,
I did.
thank you, Shauny. You're saving me.
I didn't, did I? I did. Good. Yay.
Let me just take a little sip.
Yeah, I can understand how this must be stressful for you. There we go. There's there we go. It's curtains for you. And
Nice. Do you need one soft clay?
you do
You need 3.
3.
And house complete.
Well, room complete. Let's see. What else do I need to do? I need to remove mountain furniture because that's apparently what construction is all about.
That's how you train construction.
Yep, taking it out, putting it back in again. Fortunately, got lots of planks.
And IKEA would make a killing.
I know, right? Let's see. Build a room. I've used up all that huge stack of money I had. Yeah, I wasted it all. Thrown it all away.
Life savings.
I know, right?
Oh, the big 20k bet is back.
Yeah, let's see.
So
Build
you
a
can
kitchen.
build a kitchen as well.
Yeah. Or I could build one of the other rooms if I really wanted to. This is when we pretty much run out of construction levels, really. In fact, I'm hit 5 already. So there we go. Maybe I can build a fire pit.
So can free-to-play build everything inside the kitchen?
Everything other than... So the cat blanket and the fire pit are the only things that are level 5, unfortunately, so that's where it caps out.
Right.
So you have all these items tantalizingly in front of you, none of which you'll be able to build. Sorry.
Never wanted to build a larder as much as I wanted to right now.
I know, right? That incentive. Another handy thing for free-to-play, though, is that currently free-to-play can only have 2 daily challenges. We've expanded that list up to 5, like regular players.
Right, okay. You don't have any right now.
Because I need to replenish for tomorrow, because I'm... right. Hold on a second. What was it? Yeah.
So you can get 5 daily challenges for free play, and that's it, right?
Yeah, that... So currently the limit's 2. There'll be 5 like regular players. When you're a new player, after your initial login, so usually on like the second day, you come back after you've explored Lumbridge a little bit. We'll try to nudge you towards Berthorpe through daily challenges. The initial ones that you get are some basic challenges with rather short form objectives.
Yeah.
Just to ease you in, and then after that you'll start getting proper challenges. Currently under the existing path system, because that path system can be toggled on and off, it replaces your daily challenges with the basic ones if you haven't done them yet.
Right,
so
okay.
if you happen to do that, then you kind of lose out on the challenges you've accrued already. So this way, at least, it's only going to happen once when you're a new player.
Nice.
I'm not going to bother anybody else.
Sweet.
So what else could I show you? How are we doing for time?
Probably okay.
I think let's stop that there. I think we're 5:30, aren't we? So yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you very much. That is awesome. And we're going to move on to Mod Erator.
Hello. Are we on? Oh, we're on.
We're on.
Premium.
I get
Hello.
to swing round.
Hey, buddy.
Is this in shot? It's not. Fantastic.
I think I'm slightly too tall for the camera.
You're
That's
fine.
fine.
You can see yourself on there. Look.
Legs off, please.
There's your sequin there.
Oh, premium. There we go. Oh, hello.
There you go. It works now. Same height.
Oh, man. All
So,
right.
Mod Erator.
Hello.
What have you been working on?
Have you managed to get your obscure television reference out yet today?
No, not
You
yet.
haven't, no. Oh, that's a shame. I was looking forward to that.
Maybe we'll do Homes Under... I should have done Homes Under the Hammer.
Oh, man.
Damn it. Well, there we go.
Oh, time's gone. Never mind.
Supermarket sweet.
Oh, all right.
Oh, Dale Winton. Oh, man. Poor guy. Okay, cool. So we have been working on, for Game Jam, I've been working with Timbo. We've been working with the players as well on designing some new uses for the Alchemical Onyx.
Yeah. So what have we designed?
Yeah, so by the end of Thursday, we're sort of talking to players, and then we put out what our initial designs were. Came back in on Friday and sort of reviewed everything that had gone on overnight, made a few more tweaks, figured out which the most important ones to the players were, like the higher, the better sentiment ones. So that I could start working on one of them that afternoon, whilst finalising the other 2. So yeah, the one that I got started working on was the teleport compactor.
Yeah, with
named to be
TBC.
TBC. Ignore the fact it's a ring. It's not a ring.
But you've called it the ultimate compactor for now, right?
For now, it's just ultimate teleport compactor. Yeah. So the way that this works is we've already got a bunch.
I already see Rubik complaining about Passage of the Abyss.
Is he here?
He better not give us a bad TODW because of it.
So the way that it works, there's currently 12 different jewelry teleport items in game that can be compacted into having more charges. This is essentially a way of getting even more charges out of that, and also combining multiple of the items onto a single item.
Right.
So sort of saving inventory space, saving bank space, and getting more.
So all of
the
the jewelry they can currently compacted can be added to this, right?
You can get 6 onto one item.
Yeah.
So if you wanted all 12, then you would have to create a second one.
Awesome.
We'll look into recolor options and stuff like that to make sure that it's easy distinguishable as to which one's which, and they'll also, like on the tooltips, etc., display all of the things that are on it.
So do you want to show it off?
Yeah. So it doesn't matter sort of what set of jewelry you have in terms of how many charges they have. It will work it out in priority order when it deletes them.
So how many charges do I need to charge this?
So it's 100 times the maximum charge of a given item. So Ferocious Rings has 5 as a maximum charge, so it'll be 500 charges is needed.
Okay.
Glories is 4, so it'll be 400 charges.
Yeah, so I can bring any combination of charges.
Yeah, that's including compacted ones as well.
Right. Okay.
So if you have like 400...
Don't move your inventory over slightly. Sorry.
Nope.
Oh.
There we go. Premium.
Now you can see the inventory. Hello.
Yeah, I was saying something.
So for Ferocious Rings, you need 500 charges.
Yeah.
Glory's 400.
400.
And for Silver Jewelry, 800.
Silver's 500.
Ring of Jewelry has 8, so it requires 800.
Yeah, minigames.
800 charges.
Necklace, sorry, is 800 as well.
Yeah.
So once you have that number of charges,
so you don't even need fully charged rings,
No.
right? So you can use 2 charges, 3 charges, 1 charge.
If you've got that stack of them in your bank that you can't be bothered to recharge yourself because you can't sell them on the GE, right?
So yeah, as long as you have 500 charges in the inventory, you can charge it.
Yep.
Awesome.
So simply just use the object that you want on there onto this teleport compactor. It will tell you that it's going to warn you before you do it to make sure you definitely want to do it.
Yeah.
As it is an expensive operation. Boom, you've done that. You've successfully added it. Still got that in there from earlier. Yeah, didn't fix that. Never mind. It's fine. It will tell you how many slots you've got remaining on there. And now you have this charged version. So the very first, the empty version will be tradable on the GE.
Yep.
So if you want to make money from it instead, you can just make one if you have the fortunate components left over and you can just sell it on. Or if you use it, the point in which you use one item on it, it becomes charged. And you will get an initial 5,000 probably charges. And then each teleport that you do will use a charge.
So right, so I don't have to use teleport jewelry anymore.
Correct.
Nice.
And then you'll recharge this by using fortunate components.
Okay, cool.
So at the moment there is a check charges recharge that's not implemented at the moment.
But the maximum amount of charges is 5,000.
Yes. And then
a fortunate would charge me 1,000 charges.
Yeah,
right?
we're thinking around about that at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, to make it worthwhile. So.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a pocket slot item as well. So don't be deceived by the fact that I made it a ring. That's just me.
You made it Hazelmys as well.
I made it Hazelmys too. So at the moment, if it's in your inventory, you've got the left click for teleporting. That makes it a 2 interface teleport.
Oh, there we go.
So this is all key bound. And then, you can go to whatever you want. And it's at that point that you then use a charge. If you're wearing it, then we want to get rid of the 2 interface teleport. So this hasn't been implemented yet, but I want to have the option to select a quick teleport. So that'll be your left-click teleport, which will be a single destination of any of the items that you got on there.
Oh, so if I have a glory, I can just teleport to Edgeville left.
Yeah, on the left-click you could go to Edgeville, and then on the right-click, what I want is to have a list of all of the jewelry items that you've got on there.
Oh,
so if you had like Games Necklace and Glory, it will say here Games Necklace Glory, and then you can teleport to there, and it's just one.
So right now there should be an option for Ferocious Ring, right?
Yeah, because I've got those on there. Obviously that's not implemented yet, but that is what the plan is. So that at that point it's just a 1 interface teleport. And yeah, that's what I've got for it so far. So the degrade system's not in yet. The those warm functions, as I say, aren't implemented yet. Neither the quick teleport or the recharging or the option to recolor. So there's a lot of work still to be done. The bulk of it, though, is the fact that you can add items to it. And yeah, you can actually at the moment teleport to anything that exists, and it also considers the fact that if you can actually teleport or not in the game based on certain requirements.
Right.
Don't know what the reason is why I can't teleport there.
Probably didn't have Mauritania access, friend.
Oh, there you go.
We'll complete one of the quests.
Yeah, so it takes all of that into consideration before doing it. And yeah, that's pretty much that one for now.
Nice. So so we did have a second item designed.
Yeah, the second one that went down really well with the players. Is we're calling it Grace of the Elves.
Yeah, Grace of the Elves. So
it's looking at having sort of 3 effects on it. Mm-hmm. The first one would be.
So this is an amulet, right?
Yeah, it would be it would sit in your necklace slot, amulet slot, whatever. And the first effect would be that it's a half drain rate reduction from Seren prayers on the skilling ones. So like not crystallized, light form. Superheat form, and you're going to remind me of the third one again.
Chronicle Absorption.
That's the one, Chronicle Absorption. I'll remember it one day. So that would be the first effect. The second effect will be the chance to spawn like a crystal chest or something nearby you whilst you're skilling. That crystal chest, when you loot it, will give you a roll on the red drop table.
Oh, does that mean I can get Hazelmys?
That does mean you can get Hazelmys from skilling.
Damn.
That's a pretty big deal.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, so RuneFest last year we spoke about these wow moments from skilling. That's going to be one of them, right? We've added in a few recently with Treasure Turtle. This is going to be another one of those wow moments.
Yeah, so there's no way for skillers to get on rare drop table right now. It's always there.
Yeah, so you would have to be also wearing the Luck of the Dwarves when you actually loot the chest in order to have that chance of getting Hazelmaze, but it would be possible.
That's sweet.
And the third effect is so in the max garden you've got 2 portals. This ring would allow you to have access. This amulet would allow you to have access to those portal teleports from anywhere.
Right. Okay.
It would have this restriction of if you don't have access to the guild, then you could only use one of the portals. You can only attune it once, and then you wouldn't be able to change it.
So I can't reattune it through my necklace.
Yeah.
I have to go to the garden to reattune them.
If you don't, that'd be the plan.
So it's just like stepping through one of the portals.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But once you've got them all set up as to which ones you want them on anyway, then it's probably quite rare that you change them.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to use it for quite a while for whatever task it is that you're doing, and then when you want to change it, you can actually then go back.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be nice to keep switching to, I just keep going to the next active crystal tree.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to go to the max guild every time, because that's all the portals are there for, right? You're doing a teleport to get to the max guild, to then do a teleport again.
Yeah,
so
but now I can do it whenever.
You can just do it from where you are.
So when my tree falls over, it just sort of decides I don't want to chop it anymore.
Yeah.
I can just click the teleport and go to the next tree.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, or any of the other ones that are available.
There are a ton, deep sea
You've
fishing,
got divination stuff.
Habitat, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And yeah, the third one, it wasn't fully fleshed out. It needs more features on it, so probably not worth discussing that too much.
We just briefly go over it. So we had a third jewelry item, which was named something weird like Ingenuity of the Humans.
Yep.
And that had infinite Invention Guild teleports.
Yep.
It had increased disassembly speed.
Yep.
For people who still manually disassemble. And also you could store up to 500 charges of Signs of the Porter on it as well.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the Signs of the Porter equivalent of a teleport compactor, right?
Yeah.
And that would work with like any tier. Signs of the Porter could be put into it as long as it gets up to that 500 charges. So you put like 500 1-charge porters on there, or 10 50-charge porters.
But that hasn't. We like some of the items on it, but like it's like, would you replace something else for this item? It's a bit up in the air still. So we definitely want to make the first 2 items. Definitely want to make the compactor, teleport, and the Grace of the Elves.
Yeah.
But the third one is.
Yeah, I think players like the idea of what it can do, but I think it needs one more thing to be worth the Alchemical Onyx investment.
Yeah.
But I mean, we at least know now that they are things that players like, and they could come from other sources.
Well, I mean, we were really surprised by the increased assembly speed, right?
Yeah, machines, right?
Yeah, I mean, you worked on Invention Batch too. Yeah. You've worked on the machines.
Yeah, we did that. We did those for a reason, to fix that issue. But
I don't know some people in the chat talking about it as well. But there was a lot of love for this for increased density, because people disassemble a lot of stuff still manually. So yeah, maybe it's an Alchemical Onyx, maybe it's a different reward. But
at least we know that they're desirable effects
that,
from the players, right? For those 3 things, and we can split those out into its own reward space, and that's fine.
But yeah, that is great.
So that's me, I think.
Hope you enjoyed yourself, Erator.
Yeah, thank you very much.
We are going to move over to everyone's favourite Swede, Mod Shogun.
Hello.
Am I on? I'm on.
Oh, we're on.
Hello. Swing round again.
Oh, nice transition.
I don't know how to say how are you in Swedish. I was going to try it.
Hur mår du?
Hur mår du?
Yeah, almost. You tried at least.
Excellent.
Yeah, indeed.
So what have you been working on for the Game Jam?
I've been trying to teach you how to speak Swedish. I failed with that.
They have really failed.
I've been making achievements, and I've been putting a pet into the game. Called the Rabbit. Oh, we're moving a lot. Hello. So I've been putting some achievements that people wanted, like visiting every resource dungeon in game.
Okay.
And no, Abba is not better. No. That's 4 people. That can't be 1 person. RuneScape.
Someone saying ABBA's better than what?
That doesn't work. Abba's 4 people. Oh.
Can you name them all?
Nope.
I bet you're Dave Good.
Yes, it is.
Is Bjorn one of them?
Yes, Bjorn's one of them.
I don't know why this is now an ABBA live stream.
Made a reputation.
Everyone's waiting for Mod Osborne to say their names. Baba.
Made a reputation tab so you could keep track of your reputation, like God Wars 2 factions, your Gobi rep.
Oh, right, okay. Is this going to include Menethos as well?
I'm planning to add it on there, depending if the system allows me to do it or not.
Okay.
But hopefully it will be added in there as well, so you can easily keep track of it. I've added the Nomad Soul Capes, so you can go get them.
Oh, so that's after Tales of Nomad.
Yes, if you defeat the Memory Nomad, you get a cape, depending how fast you kill it. And but there'll be an achievement for that as well.
So there's an achievement for each cape?
Yes.
Cool.
So depending how fast you do it, the better cape you get. If you already have the capes, you can go back to the fight, and when you try to enter it, you will be automatically given the achievements.
So I don't have to refight Nomad under 8 minutes to...
No, you don't have to refight them.
Okay, awesome.
Let's see, what else do we have? I have added a lot of random small achievements as well.
So these are just fun achievements
Yeah.
you've...
Like the Lifesaver one. You have
Are these
to...
from players over the weekend? Or?
Yes, players of the weekend.
Nice.
So the Lifesaver one, which is you have to get rescued by Sign of Life effect 50 times.
50 times.
50 times.
Why you like this?
Because you have to go and die 50 times.
Does that work on the defense skill cape as well?
Yes, it does.
Okay, cool.
I wasn't that mean at least. So you can use the defensive skill cape. You have to find a JMod, get a Valentine's card from them.
How do you even do that?
Well, JMod has to give it to you with the cabbage item we have.
Okay.
Then you
Sure,
can
I literally didn't know that existed.
well, there you go. You can now give people achievement score.
Is that... Okay, sure.
Yes, indeed. You agreed to it when I asked you. You can't say back now.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
How tired was I?
Very tired.
Okay.
There's one to make a Sarah necklace.
Oh, so from all the symbols from thieving, yeah.
Your symbols. There's one to make all 7 gnome cocktails from scratch.
If you click it, it'll tell you.
And in a bit.
What? Why don't you click it now?
Because there's a bug.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
All right. It was working earlier.
Yeah, but it gives a lot of messages, so I don't want to...
Okay, so yeah, make all 7 cocktails.
So yeah, make all 7 cocktails. And then we have my favourite. Deliver a pizza to a hungry highwayman.
A pizza?
A pizza. I'm not telling you what pizza, but you're welcome to try. So you can try like anchovy pizza. He's really, really angry about that.
Why isn't it like...
Because anchovies are horrible, that's why. These are my own personal flavours, so
You're
that's
from
why.
Sweden?
Yes.
You eat a lot of fish.
Okay. Can burnt pizza. He doesn't like that either. And then if you got give him proper pizzas, he gives like tips on what you should add to them.
Right,
So,
okay.
like,
So add some chicken maybe.
yeah, and then you get a meat pizza if you had a chicken. I'm like, it wasn't with fruit on it. I'm like,
Yeah.
well,
Have
then
you tried oranges?
Yeah, pineapple pizza.
Oh, yeah, pineapple.
But like, it's a tastier fruit than pineapple pizza. And it'd be a bit of a crunch, right? So you're like, what else can I add to this pizza? So
Oh
you
my
go like,
god.
Pizza me up.
Pizza me up.
Pizza me up. Let's got it. And so now you have like ingredients.
So
This
what...
is the most best one, right? Sliced banana.
Freshly sliced from Musa Point.
Yep. Some nuts. A curry leaf.
Yep.
And a cooked chicken. You use this on a plain pizza. You can make the banana pizza.
What is wrong with you?
It's absolutely delicious pizza.
What is this madness?
Banana pizza. You create it. Ta-da. It's now the best pizza in game as well. Where is it?
That's a plain pizza.
Anchovy. Banana
There
pizza.
we go.
900.
Pizza.
And pineapple is 8. See, it's better already.
It's all the nuts you added, right?
It's banana. That's the trick. And you give it to him, you're like, oh, he's really happy about that. And ta-da, achievement done. So that's what I've been doing. It was really annoying to put in an extra pizza in the game, since it only accepts an extra ingredient and I had to have 4.
Yeah.
So it took a bit of a while, but it was worth it.
I mean, you say it's worth it. People in the chat would like to disagree.
No, see, they like banana pizza. Like, there's some yeses in there.
Is it a Swedish thing?
So Sweden has very weird pizza. We put everything on pizza, really.
Everything.
Yeah, you can find basically everything on pizza. It's very common, and this is one of the more famous ones we have.
Right. Okay.
So it is true. See that person agrees. Yes, it's a Swedish thing.
Even though there's so many Swedish viewers in today.
Well, there's some. And then we have my pet.
So this is the cool one.
Yeah, parasitic orb. You inspect it. You have now unlocked Jack the Nipper demon.
Jack the Nipper.
Indeed. It's pets. It's a companion pet.
Yeah.
This should tell you something if you know what a companion pet means. There you go. Here's
Oh, there he is.
cute little thing, right?
Yeah, sure.
And as you see down here, over familiars is ticked.
Ooh.
What do that means?
Get familiar out.
Right, gotta give myself one first. Law. Titan?
That sounds right.
I got it correct.
Nice.
Now summon it. Oh, there he is.
Oh, go on, free cam it. Or else Shauny will kill us.
Oh.
There he is.
Look at that cute little thing.
F2 and space that. Come on.
F2 and space.
He
You
still
happy?
shouted at us.
Look at him.
This back, yes, maybe.
Why?
Oh, if you want the full screen, yeah.
And if you want this as your desktop background, there you go.
I can get it.
Except there's me and Shogun in the way.
Banana for scale, Shogun.
Banana for scale.
I don't have a banana on me.
Banana
It's
pizza
gone.
for scale.
It's on the pizza already, and he ate it.
So how'd you get the pet?
You have to kill Ripper demons.
How many Ripper demons?
A lot of Ripper demons.
Okay.
So imagine enemy rarity, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So you would get it from the normal Ripper demons as well.
Yep.
But if you kill an elite Ripper demon, you have a greater chance of getting it. So from elite, you're better than from a enemy at least.
So it's not just from elite, but there's a better drop rate from elite.
Yes, indeed. So you can get it from normals, but elites will be a lot better for you to kill.
Okay.
And
Awesome.
you guaranteed to get at least one elite Ripper demon per Slayer task. And there's such great Slayer XP, you should do them more Slayer tasks.
That's why they're famously called skipper demons.
No, they're not. Ask what's his name? Jonathan. He loves the Ripper demons.
Yeah.
Yeah. He kills like 5 of them at the same time with a Tesla coil or
Was that the video I saw? Someone running around with.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah.
And he didn't die.
That was impressive.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, is that him attacking?
Yes, he's attacking from range. But yeah. Little pet.
Awesome.
That's what I've been doing.
Thank you. I think. Awesome stuff, Shogun. Next up, we have Moderator Tomb.
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh.
Yeah.
Swing round again.
Oh, hello.
Hello, friend.
Oh, now on a much more savoury note.
Real cooking. So, what was your Game Jam project?
So my Game Jam project was the Cooking Guild rework.
Okay.
So basically, instead of just having kind of a generic building where there's like a bank and maybe a range a bit too far away and maybe a cooking apple.
Yeah. All the classics you need.
I've wanted to make it a bit better, and following your design actually of the kind of what we want guilds to become. I've done such things like tiering the guild. So the guild now has 4, maybe 5 later on tiers, and you'll basically go through them, and I think you become an accomplished, an artisan, a master, and I think before that apprentice chef.
Are they all level locked or?
So the first level locked was kind of like 30-ish, as that's kind of the requirement of what the guild is at the moment.
Okay, yeah.
And then probably something like 60 to 60, 70-ish, 85-ish, and then probably like 90 or maybe a 99 unlock, something like that.
You're a master chef at 99.
Yeah, the top end is very briefly designed.
John Terrell and Greg Wallace will come round your house and give you a master chef title. Oh, there's my obscure British TV reference.
Oh, I thought you were going to go with Ready Steady Cook. I was thinking of that for you. What was I going to say?
Britain even.
So to unlock the different tiers, you've got to jump into mini quests, and I'll go through the mini quests as they're the implemented bit of the game.
Okay.
So the first chef, he's kind of dough themed, and after you've done his mini quest,
he just loves dough.
He just loves dough. He just loves dealing with dough. And after you've done his mini quest, this bit isn't implemented. The rewards aren't implemented. Just the mini quest at the moment. After you've done his mini quest, he'll unlock the kind of long-term cooking of dough in the guild, and that will be something like you go to your guild, you have quite a large amount of ingredients or something. Then you'll kind of do some form of interaction with the guild. Don't know what that is yet. I assume make dough in some retrospect. And then you'll leave it for maybe a few days, maybe a few weeks, and then when you come back to it, your kind of thing's done, and you'll get loads of dough. And then we'll talk about
how dough is made?
It is in the cooking guild.
Okay, fantastic.
And then we'll talk.
It is RuneScape.
Yeah, and we'll talk about this dough later because the dough has an important part.
Yeah,
that's really weird.
The dough is real dough.
Yeah,
as in money.
No.
Oh.
Well, you could probably sell it and make money. We haven't decided all of these things yet.
That's right.
So the first part of the quest, I'll just start the quest normally, actually. Speak to the head chef. He directs you to Dough Man. Speak to Dough Man.
Dough Man.
He gives you a list of ingredients, which I can't see because the mic's in the way, which is garlic, some special honey, and one of Farmer Ted's special onions. And then if we magically... Farmer Ted's special onions you'll have to get from his specific patch.
Okay.
Do you remember where Farmer Ted is? Do you even know who Farmer Ted is?
Is he the guy? Yeah, there. There. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mean to do that.
Oh, okay.
I didn't actually mean to give that away. Yeah.
I remember there's one farmer who has a special name around there.
Yeah,
Chicken
Farmer
Man.
Ted.
Is this Chicken Man or is this not Chicken
This
Man?
This is Cabbage and Onion Man.
Right. Okay.
You pick one of Farmer Ted's special onions. Boom, you've got a special onion.
There's a big onion.
See, it's just a normal onion, made a little bit bigger, I'll be honest. There are... so the other ones, the pot of honey and the garlic. Garlic you can just buy. There isn't anything special with that. But the pot of honey, you'll have to speak to Widen, the shop owner in Port Sarim.
Right, okay.
And you'll kind of go through some kind of dialogue tree affair to kind of convince him to give you his fancy pot of honey. That's not implemented yet, so we'll just cheat and steal the honey. And I was worried it wouldn't load then.
It doesn't look like honey.
It's actually the model from the rune jar in Dave Quest, just moved around.
Oh, what's Dave Quest? Oh, right, the quest that I made. Yeah, sure, of course.
We hand those into Doughman. Premium.
He's very excited by it.
He mixes it up. So, like, these things, when we kind of get to the actual implementation of the kind of pushing it into the game, we'll have more steps. They'll be more interesting. This is just kind of very bare bones.
This is just what you did over the weekend. Like,
yeah, this is very bare bones
Game
of
Jam stuff.
You get an item, you use the item, there, voila. You cook it. You cook your garlicky, oniony, honeyified bread.
I like the question mark at the end of the bread.
He's really happy with it. Premium. Talk to the head chef because the dough man's recommended you to him. You got your level up.
Okay.
You level up your kind of guild rank up.
So what's the purpose of ranking up? Why do I want to rank up in the cooking guild?
So you'll get the kind of long-term cooking rewards.
Okay.
Like the dough mixing, which will exist at some point.
Yeah.
And then later on, we'll talk about. Should we talk about rewards now, or should we?
We can talk about it later if you want. I just want to make sure that players, when they're viewing this, they understand why we're getting honey and weird onions and.
So for each mini quest, there will be an unlock specific for that mini quest of the long-term thing in the guild, and then later on.
So you're unlocking things you can do inside the guild by doing these mini quests.
Yes, okay. And then later on, we'll talk about the other rewards, and there will be things that you can kind of. You'll sort of unlock them through the guild, and then the guild will kind of allow you to unlock them.
Right, okay, cool.
So the second one, Brewman. Brewman.
You should have called him Duffman.
Oh, I should have. Well, he's Brew NPC. He wants you to gather a load of ales and beers and all sorts of random alcoholic beverages from the kind of free-to-play pubs.
Okay.
And basically similar to a bar crawl.
Is this okay? Does he need help?
Well, he's trying out a kind of a new kind of way to to brew, which you'll then be able to do after the mini quest.
So this is all for experimentation.
Yeah, and he wants to get to know. He wants to kind of get a feeling for what the other people around RuneScape kind of want to drink.
Okay. Yeah.
So he asks you to go and gather them. You'll need booze from Karamja, Varrock. I think there's three pubs in Varrock. Port Sarim, Barbarian Village, Falador, and loads of other places.
So this is pub crawl version 2.
This is pub crawl version 2. We're not going to go around all the places at the moment, mainly because they're not all implemented. But with the magic of debug procs, I can throw them all into my inventory.
Nice.
We talked to Brewman again. Bam, got the ales. He's happy. He sends his recommendations. That's all good. Also, the first 2 mini quests, I forgot to mention this earlier, the first 2 mini quests would be free to play.
Right,
I'm kind of thinking. The brewing wouldn't, because brewing is currently a members thing. That's maybe up to discussion, but probably not. So the first kind of half of the guild would be free to play. So like the free to players will be able to access all the dough stuff, and then some of the rewards we'll talk about later, they'll probably be able to access as well.
Okay, sweet.
The third quest is where it gets a bit interesting, mainly because I've implemented a bit more of it. This NPC wants to open up a smoker in the cooking guild.
Okay.
Where you'd smoke various meats and kind of get. So my idea for the smoking of the meats was you'd kind of pick a handful of meats to smoke. You'd go back and then eating that specific food would give you the buff of kind of normal food. So if you smoked rocktail, it would heal you like a rocktail, but also potentially a small buff.
Right.
For,
okay.
I don't know, maybe 30 seconds, maybe half an hour. Depends how important we want to make the buff.
Cool.
The third mini quest, he wants you to go and gather loads of kind of interesting things that he kind of wants to try and smoke. Smoke in a meat smoker.
Yeah.
In a meat smoker.
Phrasing.
So he wants some corn-fed snails, some strung-up toads, because he wants to try out smoking toads.
Yeah.
Smoking toads on a meat smoker. Some unicorn meat, a RuneScape version of a turducken, which for those of you that don't know is a duck in inside a chicken inside a turkey. And we're kind of
everyone's favourite food.
And we're kind of making a RuneScape version of that. And he wants to learn how to make a kebab because he doesn't actually know. And
they all sound like very things I would put in my meat smoker.
Yeah, well, he's experimenting. He's seeing what he can get away with. So if we go to version 3, to get a corn-fed snail, you'll need to go to Mauritania, where the snails live.
Yeah.
And you'll need to get some sweet corn.
But not before the gas turns your sweet corn into...
Yeah, you've got to be quick. That's why I've got 10 in my inventory. Because the amount of times I tested this and they did
got an Ouroboros pack.
And then you kill your snail that you've cornified, or you fed to corn. You've given corn. He gives you some corn-fed snail meat.
Okay, yeah.
And you need some of them. If we get to the next one, you go to... Oh, I can never remember the name of this one. No, I don't want to say Gnome Town.
Gnome Town.
Gnome Stronghold.
No, Stronghold. I always forget it.
Gnome Town.
I always think it's Tree Gnome Village, but that's the maze
So
one.
like the
And
cousin,
I know it never,
the
always
sister
forget this
city
one.
of Lazy Town.
You pick up the various toads and some bowstrings. You string them all together, and there's some toads. You've got your strung toads. I was also tempted with this update to kind of update this area a little bit, make the actual toads NPCs similar to the ones in the Ogre Swamp.
Right,
So if you kind of wanted them, you'd have to physically go and catch them.
Sweet.
And do something with the worms to make them not look like just objects on the floor. The other part, I can't remember what the next one is.
Is it the turducken?
This is the unicorn meat.
Oh, right, okay.
So you've got to kill a unicorn, because that's how you get unicorn meat.
Why would you do this?
Because you give me free reign on a game jam.
Fair.
You get some unicorn meat, but if you actually would then go to hand in the unicorn meat to the chef, he doesn't believe you. He doesn't believe that it's unicorn meat because he's never seen it before. So actually, you have to make it a little bit more colourful. You've got to throw some dyes on it.
Because unicorn meat would be multicoloured.
Yep, because unicorn meat would be multicoloured. You then get some multicoloured unicorn meat, which we'll pretend is multicoloured in the icon description.
It's a game jam.
The next step... Oh, you're just waiting for the turducken, aren't you?
I love the turducken.
Oh.
I love the name of the turducken.
The next step, we're saving the turducken until last.
Oh, this is the kebab man.
This is the kebab man. You have to go to Ali the kebab seller, because what other kebab seller would you go to? You ask about the cooking guild, because you're here for the cooking guild for the kebab thing. You'll probably have some more dialogue here, but he basically writes you down the kebab recipe, gives it to you, and it is a very premium kebab recipe of get some kebab meat, get some pita bread, make a kebab.
No salad, no sauce.
Just do it. Just make a kebab. And then the one you've been waiting for.
This is the premium.
This is the premium turducken. I've had to clear my inventory because you need that many things for this.
So what have you got in your inventory there?
So currently, I've got some bird meat.
Yep.
I've got some chicken, and I've got a chompy bird.
Okay.
So the weird thing about this one is you can buy all the items you need.
Yeah.
All of the other ones you have to physically go and get them. But this one, if you just want to buy all the ingredients of I can't remember the name of it, the RuneScape version of a turducken.
I mean, we're going to see it in a second.
Then you can just buy them off the Grand Exchange because I thought it was a bit mean to make people make like 20 pats of butter. So you've got to butter your raw bird meat, use it on the chicken.
Birded chicken.
Butter the chicken.
Buttered chicken. Yeah.
Then you've got to use that on the chompy.
The buttered chicken chompy.
And then you've got to butter that.
Nice.
And then you give that to him. And actually, we can hand this one in.
Yeah, hand it in.
We can see what he says. You hand this one in. What? So I have to kind of dodge out to see what
it's
he
not
says.
tasty enough.
He's not tasty enough. He wants it to be more like his Taste of the Sea.
I like how his first thought was to kill a seagull.
So now if you then go and kill a seagull, you get some seagull meat. But thankfully, I'm just going to butter it.
Yeah, butter it out.
So then use the seagull on the bird on the butter on the chicken.
Oh my god!
Chicken on the butter. Yeah, it's just a huge item chain. And then we have our...
So the final buttered seagull, buttered birded, buttered chicken, buttered chomping.
Yeah. I think it's like... Oh, yeah, I didn't even write the name. I couldn't remember it.
Lovely bubbly bird.
I think it was like a gully compy or a gully birdie compy or something like that.
Yeah,
just like a weird amalgamation of all of them.
That's our turducken.
And that's the stuff that's currently implemented.
Someone asked, why is there no jubbly?
Oh, so I was thinking about this, but I thought if you actually took a chompy and a jubbly, because they're kind of similar birds,
right? Okay.
There would be too much of the same flavour.
It's basically the same flavour, yeah.
Yeah, so I thought, no.
It's not that taste of the sea you get from seagull.
Ali's red hot sauce.
I was tempted to do something with Ali's red hot sauce, but I was worried that was quest locked.
One question, by the way, that item name, is localization going to kill you about that item name?
Yes. But we did discover that there isn't actually a character limit on the item names. So maybe not. But we don't know. That was with... Yeah, this might go wrong, but I won't be...
I mean, that sounds delicious.
We'll probably end up calling it like a weird amalgamation of the names each time at each
Just like
stage.
turducken.
Yeah, like turducken.
Would that be...
oh, boy.
And then...
But chick... Alright, I'm going to try.
Yeah, the config names are worse. It's awful. So the other one I was thinking would be a stew NPC. And my thought for the kind of stewing mechanic was you just have kind of a giant stew pot. You throw a load of cooking resources in. That could be anything that you can cook. And then basically you come back after maybe 2 hours, maybe 2 months, who knows. And then you come back and...
That's a really slow cook.
Well, I think you'd put them in, and like the minimum amount of time would be 2 hours, but the max would be however long you want.
Right.
And it would potentially have different effects the longer you leave it.
And depending on what ingredients you put in?
Yeah, and then depending what ingredients you put in, depends on the buff you get.
Cool.
And then I was thinking the buff you get could be kind of like a kind of... Not obviously, I haven't run any of these past you, so this could be way out of proportion.
These are all game jam ideas.
But I was thinking the buff you get with this giant buff, so this tooltip would be huge. Whereas if you put in certain foods, you get like a Slayer % XP buff, or a buff against specifically Ripper demons. And then if you put other food in, you get like sailfish, like fishing buff, or potato farming buff, or anything.
Yeah.
But it all happens at once, and you don't really know what you're going to get. But you kind of have to think what you're putting in to kind of get what you're...
towards what you're trying to make.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it could be... just reading from the chat that Guthix died for this.
He certainly did.
Maybe
Chompicking Gull. I like that.
Maybe you could put bones in, and secretly there's a weird Guthix buff that I'll put in. Who knows? It's a game jam. Anything could happen. And then rewards wise, again, part of the reason you'd be doing all these quests in the Cooking Guild and like tearing your way up was something about cooking cooks around the world, as I'm calling it, where you would have through progressing through the cooking guild, you'd be able to unlock various, or get the ability to unlock various cooks. And then you maybe do another little mini quest for that cook, or something similar. And then once you've unlocked that cook, let's say we've unlocked Gnome Chef, and then when I'm training my...
Gnome Chef from Gnome Town.
Gnome Chef from Gnome Town. And then when you're training your just cooking normally, Gnome Chef from Gnome Town would pop up, maybe interrupt your cooking, and give you a little contract. I need to think of a nice name in the contract, but it'll give you a list of ingredients.
Yeah, maybe it's like a cookbook and needs some help or something.
Yeah, something like that. And then that list of ingredients would be things you have to then physically go out into the world and get. So I'll use the sailfish example I always use because it's the only thing I can think of. He'd ask for 8 baked sailfish, and then you then have to go out and fish 8 sailfish yourself, and you'd have they might be different named sailfish, like extra large sailfish or something.
So I need to have a high fishing level as well.
Yeah,
right,
but I wouldn't lock it behind that. So if you have a high fishing level, you might get that. You might have to fish sailfish, but if you had fishing 1, then you just fish shrimps. Like the quest would denote shrimps or something.
Right. Okay. So it scales to you. Yeah.
Yeah, but so it wouldn't punish. There's never a punishment for having a low.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Low in another skill. And then you basically go out there, you cook your baked sailfish, and that would be kind of an ingredient that would just be for this quest. It wouldn't be like as normal sailfish. You give that to Gnome Chef from Gnome Town, and then he gives you a specific sailfish. Gnome Town wouldn't give you the sailfish one, but sure. He'd then give you a specific buff to his kind of niche.
Right. Okay.
So if you did Gnome Guy's quest, he would give you like potentially a gnome cooking buff. So all gnome cooking gives extra XP, or you get extra money from it.
Right.
Something like that. And then on top of that buff, a maybe 1% or 2% actual cooking XP buff, which would probably last like a good few hours.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And then gets the good bit of this, where if you've unlocked, say, Bread Chef might then interrupt you later on. So you've still got your kind of Gnome Town buff.
Gnome Town buff, yeah.
Gnome Town cooking buff and your cooking XP buff.
Yep.
And then Bread Chef comes on along, interrupts you. You've got to bake some specific bread for him. You bake your specific bread for him. Give it to him. He then gives you a specific bread baking buff. So if you want to bake bread, you get that. But then he also gives you another 2% cooking buff, which then stacks with your previous buff.
Right, okay.
So say if you've unlocked 15 chefs of various things, like you've unlocked like Pie Chef, you've unlocked Menethos Chef, you've unlocked like Undead Chef, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then you say you've unlocked, say, 15 of them. You then have the potential for like, in probably like an hour or 2 hours, if you complete all 15 of those contracts, to get like a hefty like 15-20% cooking XP buff.
Yeah.
Which is nuts.
Yeah.
Like, and that would feel, and you also then have this huge range of all their specific buffs as well. So you get like Undead Chef buff, bread buff, pie buff, stuff like that.
Menethos buff.
Menethos buff. I only thought of Menethos because I can see where Shauny is right now. And then the...
He's in Tree Village or whatever it's called.
Gnome Town.
Gnome Town.
And then the other rewards we were thinking of, which ties all the way back to the start of this with the Dough Man, was dough balls, which is kind of cooking's broad arrows kind of equivalent thing.
Right, okay.
Where you'd create these batches of dough in the cooking guild, and then they'd just be completely stackable. You can have as many as you want, and they'd only take one inventory space. You then activate them, and you start rolling them. And you can roll them wherever you want. They'll probably require a cooking level to get into the cooking guild, but they probably won't require much more than that. They'll give you decent XP.
But I can train them on the go. So
you can train them on the go.
So like broad arrows if I'm waiting for something or...
Yeah, completely. So you can like...
I'm watching someone do something.
Yeah, you can go and put your cannon down at Dagonoths. You can do your broad arrows as well.
Then roll some dough balls.
Yeah, roll some dough balls. And then you'd have raw dough balls, and then you can actually, then assuming you have some form of fire, which I'm sure players can bring, you can then cook the dough balls as well, and all three of those kind of things are completely stackable. And then the dough balls, I was thinking, as a cute little tie-in, would actually be the reward currency for the Cooking Guild shop.
Right, okay.
And then not have...
so delicious.
Yeah, and then not have like the actual cooked dough balls tradable, but the raw dough balls can happily be tradable as well.
Okay.
And that's the Cooking Guild rework, I think.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
I think that's everything.
More Tim? That was a long one. That was good though.
Oh, how long is it? That was a long one. I did not expect to talk for that long.
It's fine. It's good. It's all game jam. It's all gravy. Well, it's all dough balls apparently. Right. Next up, we have everyone's favorite host.
Oh, thanks, David.
Moderator Shauny.
I'm still recovering from the trail of objects that Mod 2 had made leading up to everything. That was amazing. Oh, goodness. Oh,
So,
right.
You've got minus 13 minutes.
Minus 13 minutes. This won't take long. It's fine. It's fine. It's all good.
So what did you work on over the game jam?
So the game jam for me was clans. Essentially, clans for me is kind of a big part of RuneScape, and I kind of like clans is under my remit in CM anyway. So I wanted to see if I could do some stuff for clans over game jam to kind of make a tie-in with the upcoming Avatar rework project as well. So kind of mishmash of that pretty much. So. This won't take long, but we'll kind of go through it. So there's a couple things I made to the Chanclats.
Yeah.
So a couple changes to the Chanclat. So straight off the bat, first of all, the if you can see my mouse up here, which you probably can't, but you can see the tooltip, so that's fine. The clan chat will now show the number of people inside it, so you no longer have to try and scroll down and figure out how many people are inside your chat. Bye, Junkles, who just left my chat for some reason.
Hi.
So, yeah, you can see straight away, you know, if your guests are filling up your chat, then you can turn them off and let your members join, so on and so forth. Counter is on the guest chat as well as your ban list.
Nice.
So you can see the number of people who have been banned who is actually a fin now, instead of having to try and guess the same number and then go from there. Also, you now have, by the way, this is going to be a preview of Monday's update, because this is in on Monday's update, which is the revamped clan settings.
Spoilers.
Yeah, it's already in, because it's moved over to RC, but... clan settings has had a revamp, so it actually looks way better than the current live version. So there's a little preview of it if you guys haven't seen it already. With that, for Game Jam, I added the ability to essentially give you the chance to mute people. And since Junkle's left my chat, I'm going to use this as an opportunity to mute him.
Yeah, I mean, deserves it.
So instead, the problem with clans right now is they only have one stopgap, and that is if one of their clan members is being a real pain, the only way they can get rid of, the only way they can stop it is kick them, and there's no middle gap in between. So having mute there as an option just means that instead of having to kick them straight out of the clan, you can now just mute them and hopefully change their ways. Now. We had the discussion on Saturday, and we said, do we think this is going to be a timer thing? Can you press? Can you set up a timer?
So I can't select 1 hour, 1 day, or anything.
Yes.
I have to remember.
I'm relying on owners and admins of clans to know that they've muted someone. They should probably unmute them after X amount of time. I'm leaving that on the clan's responsibility to do so. So yeah, that is my hope that. If they mute someone, they actually decide to unmute them and not unmute them 2 years down the line when the clan member's finally unmuted, so on.
So there's a question in the chat. Can we mute guests as well?
So muting guests is interesting because the way the mute system works, it applies what's called a bit on your clan save, and that clan save is your account assigned to your clan. When a guest joins a clan, they have essentially a rank which is -1, which means obviously they're a guest. To make a mute for them means that we might have to have an engine command to make it specifically work for that, because you can't add them to clan settings because they're not officially a part of your clan. And to have something in here, you need to be able to set a bit on that person's account, which means they're muted. You can't really do that unless they're in your clan. So need a discussion with engine to see what they can do. I am going to actually mention engine because of clans. So they did the work to allow clan broadcasts to happen. So clan achievement broadcasts are a thing that Ninja are doing, which is awesome for clans. So if you get your spider leg dropped, it'll broadcast to the clan, and even people who are guesting in your clan can see that and celebrate, which is really awesome. The thing I really like the most actually is if a member is AFK, has not played in 31 days, they're considered inactive. They come back, a broadcast goes out to the clan saying, hey, this person's been AFK, or inactive, sorry. Why not message them and welcome them back? And that goes out to the clan, so everyone in the clan can welcome them back, which I think is really nice.
Yeah. So the answer is you can't mute guests.
Yeah, I kind of long-winded that one, didn't I? Yeah, so you can mute guests in this, yes. But you can mute your own clan members now instead of having to kick them to get rid of them. So,
awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Apart from that, the other stuff related to clans is... I'm just looking over the monitor because I got a little list. When the clan build tick happens, essentially the build tick happens when a player goes in and it activates it. Now the clan can't actually see when that build tick is happening unless someone who is activated goes, hey, the build tick is happening, FYI, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
That broadcast will now go out to the clan saying, hey, your citadel is about to reset itself, to kind of let the clan know, hey, you could probably do a gathering event, go in, and then, do your capping for the week, job done. So it's a nice way of letting them know if they're online at the same time that, the citadel has been reset. But apart from that, in a nutshell, that the plan with this...
Love your nutshells, don't you?
Yeah, I always say that, don't I? It's a common thing. I want to try and merge this stuff over to the Avatar Rework updates, which, for those who don't know, is essentially making the avatar your own pet. With that, it means that you're no longer limited to free avatars in your clan. Everyone has their own avatar, has their own pet. They can take them onto your agility courses and so on, so you don't have to get limited by the XP and so on. And just stuff like that. So hopefully it's like an amalgamation of all the clans. It updates in one go, so they can just get this one huge update that will hopefully be well received by clans.
Awesome sauce.
Awesome sauce.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Awesome. No worries. Thank you.
We're going to move over to Mod Isaac.
Mod Sparky.
Mod Sparky. To talk about the Game Jam item.
Yes. So you might recognise the sword from the art live stream from a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Designed by Mod D. Barker, I believe.
Yeah, one of our concert artists.
Yep. So yeah, this is basically the final sword, which I believe is giving out during this stream.
So yeah, this is the LootScape item that we're giving.
What's going to happen? Do you want to do it now?
Yeah, if they're watching.
We can do a live giveaway now if you want.
Boom, give it away right now. So this is what you get in your LootScape box this week or for this stream.
Yep, and hopefully in the next art stream, sometime soon.
To be confirmed.
To be confirmed. We'll be discussing a bit of a process of how it was made and kind of talking through for those who are interested, the production behind it.
They did it really awesome. So yeah.
Yeah, some new nice kind of pulsing effects as well.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Push some visual effects and bring some nice fancy stuff to RuneScape.
Sweet. That looks awesome.
So there is a spinning circle on my screen which is telling me that it is about to be sent to everyone. So get ready, everyone, and let us know if you get it.
We're about to send out LootScape now before the stream finishes.
New things, you see. No need to wait. I love live giveaways, I do.
He loves it. So yeah, was it fun making this?
It was very fun making this. Yeah, really nice concept to work from.
Using you talk about like a new technique or just adding new textures to don't normally add or.
So working on stuff like the Equinox armor and some other things which aren't coming out quite yet.
Okay, yeah.
Trying to just use our current tech to push kind of the boundaries of what we can do with visual effects. You've seen it with the fire effect down the blade of the treasure trail sword.
Yeah, the fire effect, yeah.
Yeah, so basically just trying to see what we can do to, up the quality, make some cool effects. Yeah.
Wow.
This especially is very easy to do and gives it a little bit more life.
Yeah, the pulsing does it really cool.
So as well, the sword, we also asked for names for the sword on the stream.
Right, okay.
And I believe the final name for it is Nature's Balance.
Yep.
Nature's Balance, that's the one.
Which was the winner. We had some great suggestions, as well as to make a badger sword. Which is,
made of badges or?
Well, actually, after the stream, Mod De Barker on his Twitter actually posted up a quick concept he did on his travels home off a badger sword. So, yeah, possibly in the future. We'll
awesome. See. Well, hopefully you'll have that in game right now. If you're watching the stream, just get your loot box and you can equip your awesome Nature's Balance swords.
Yes.
Right now. Are we?
They're all getting there. So yeah, we're gonna end it here, I think.
We are. Yeah, we ending it here.
Yeah, we can end it here.
Yeah, we'll end it here. So
fancy camera switch.
Oh,
you say fancy.
but now we're missing a Mod Sparky. Come over here, Sparky. Come on.
I'll join in the back.
No, with the chair.
Move your chair.
Okay. It's fine. You just join us now, peeking over. It's all good.
So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the Game Jam projects that we been working over the weekend. This was, as some people say, this was all unpaid. So we did this all of, or every JMod you saw today on stream working on this came over the weekend. They did it all by their own volition. They worked with you guys in Discord. Yeah, they love it. They love all RuneScape and stuff.
I've got to say thanks to you though. You put it together. You looked after us over the weekends. You know, you made sure we were fed, and you made sure that, you know, from a streamer perspective, we got all the projects on. So thanks goes to you as well, Timbo.
Thank you.
Can't forget that.
I mean, we ran 22 minutes late, and people have already left. See, Mod G's already sneaked out.
JD had to go, but
so yeah, we hope you enjoy it. As Mod Osborne said earlier, on the Builder Backlog survey, there will be a section for Game Jam projects. So please let us know of. So you're able to sort of rate all the Game Jam projects you've seen today, and some of the ones that you might not have seen today, against each other, kind of. But like, so which one do you like the most, and which ones you want to see out live the most? So if you like Shauny's fixes, if you like Alchemical Onyx, if you like player and contracts, then vote them up, and they'll get higher out on our backlog. And I think that is that. Enjoy your Nature's Balance. Thanks to Mod Sparky for making those awesome swords.
Sparky and D-Barker, I believe, right?
D-Barker for the concept. And that is going to be us. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.